I got a report. We've gone live.
Have we gone live?
We're live. That is
We're
correct.
live. Okay. Well, hi there.
Let's more parking talk. No.
Parking
It's
talk.
parking talk.
Talk, Rob. Just in time
That's
to
what
talk
you came
about-
for.
Have parking.
Welcome to Parking Talk on NPR.
Wow, that was good.
So yeah, we were just having the post Dragon Con action reports for those of you that were there. I think Rob, you and Madman were
What?
We were like, what? Because you
Panels.
muted.
Sorry,
Why would
I accidentally. I was trying to adjust your mic volume on this
Oh.
side, and I accidentally muted you.
Oh.
There
Am
you
I, am I okay now?
I
Yeah,
thought it
you're
was the
fine.
network sensors.
Okay. Yeah, I
He's just
thought it was-
reminding us who had the power here.
yeah, I know. I thought, oh my God, we shouldn't have mentioned Area 51. So, yeah, you guys were like dueling for greatest number of panels. It looked like.
Good job. Good
That
job.
was
close.
the least amount I've done in a while, and it felt great.
Yeah, me too.
How many did you do? How many did you do?
I sure as hell
Two a
wasn't.
day.
Oh my god! Oh, wow.
No, there was one day I
Two?
did three. There was one day I did three.
I could have sworn I put more stuff on that schedule.
I did
You
two a
did have
day.
more stuff on
One
the
day.
schedule. I did.
I got
Well,
just
there was one I didn't know I had, right? And I'm like,
Yep.
huh? So, yeah.
I know that
I
feeling.
think I only said yes to one additional thing.
You got the opportunity to say yes. That's awesome.
Did you get any?
Well, he had the opportunity to
emergency
say
ones?
no, which is probably the more awesome.
Oh, I said no.
You always have the opportunity. It's not coming.
I said no.
It's not showing up.
Well, that's what I did. I was like, oops, I was asleep. I had no idea.
Oops.
Yeah.
Did
I mean to
anybody get an
oversleep just then?
emergency
No.
call? I like the emergency
Yeah.
calls.
So
It's like, do you know something?
I ended up picking up both of Jennifer Morrison's panels
Mm-hmm.
from Once Upon a Time, which I've only seen a couple of, but she really liked the way I did her panel last time, so she asked for me, and I'm like, okay, and she's done enough other stuff that it's interesting, and then I ended up picking up an extra Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead panel because they had an issue with the other person that was supposed to do it. And I got lucky because my first Fear the Walking Dead panel, I was supposed to have Lenny on, and he had to spend a day shooting. But then I ended up having him on the second day. And then I made him laugh because Cosette told me about the dog on Snatch. So I mentioned it to him in his panel, and he just started cracking up. And he's like, okay, who do you know? So thank you to her for helping with that. I was lucky that all the people's panels I had were great. The Arthur Darvill panel was probably the very best. I got there about a half hour early just because I was trying to get there early with avoiding people. And poor Carol walks in, and him and I are talking about music because he's going to start doing a radio show. And he's like,
nice.
It starts off with, I've been looking for you. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I heard you're on the radio. And I said, yes. And he's like, I'm getting ready to do a radio show. What do I need to know? And I'm like, I can't really tell you that now. And he goes, give me your card. So then we started talking about bands because he had just seen Nick Cave.
Transport back to the 1980s. Yes, for a card.
Yeah, he just started talking about Nick Cave, and we both started talking about Nick Cave. And then we started talking about that new Radiohead side project record, The Smile. And then we talked about Sparks, and he talked about, Rocks.
Yes.
I thought of you because when Arthur Darvill does a play in London or goes to a play in London, he takes his bike to and from the show.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the only way to go.
He's like, I can get through anything. Nobody knows, everybody's looking for me to get into a car. Nobody's looking for the guy that gets on a bike. And
Thanks for telling everyone.
Well, he's like,
Now
nobody.
snitched.
He's like, nobody knows who I am. He goes, he's getting ready to do Oklahoma, which is going to be
Oh,
awesome.
really?
Yeah, the new version of Oklahoma, and
Who's
So,
he
yeah.
playing?
Is he playing Curly?
yeah,
Get
Wow.
out! Wow.
Yeah. He's
playing Mo.
I have no idea. So he was great. Like literally all of the people I panel moderated for were great. The only issue I had is I was leaving a panel in the Hilton, and that's when the flood hit and the thunderstorms. So they were only letting people out of the ballroom, 20 people at a time.
Huh.
So then I got out of the room and I got to the Habitat ring, and then they were only letting 5 people at a time in because it was overcrowded. And they're like, "Can you go into the Marriott?" And I'm like, "No, that'd be inside." So then I just did the hill and up into the Westin. But yeah, that was fun. And I did 2 Bowie panels with Tuffley, which is great. And
Mostly Bowie, not me.
no, that's not nice.
To Bowie.
No,
I didn't see you doing a lot of panels.
definitely not to him.
No, you know why? My butt got sick Wednesday at around 3:00, and I went home Saturday morning when I saw that I don't know, 15% of the people were masking at that point. So I said, "See ya."
My basic plan. I mean, and I filled out a con report about the masking that was probably going to make sure I never come back. But I basically masked at all my panels except the guest ones, and I asked the panelists with how they wanted to do it, and then we just measured that I was at least 3 feet apart, and I brought my own mic cushions those little mic cushion things. I brought my own with me to trade those out, and then I brought my own. If you look at the Badman panel, you can see it, but I brought my own little portable air filtration unit.
He did.
That it gives you 7 feet of clean air, and yeah, they were all laughing before. You know who wasn't laughing at the convention? After, not me.
Now, for the record, I just want to clarify. I got sick. I started to get a sore throat on Friday, which means I hadn't even been there for 24 hours. So I'm not blaming what I got on Dragon Con. It was not COVID. 9 tests later proved that it was not COVID. But I started to get bronchitis basically.
No, but it's enough to make you nervous, though.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh,
but
God.
when I went to so when I woke up Saturday morning and I said, "Well, I'm still not feeling great. My test's still coming back negative. Let me just go take a walk outside and see if it's just regular, just adjusting to being in a different environment." And then I walked through the people and I went, I went back upstairs, packed my stuff, and went home. I already feel miserable. I feel sick. So I'm not 100% sure what I have. So number one, not great to be there. But number two, whatever I have is just gonna make the number of these people walking around without masks is gonna just make it worse for me. So
You probably had Legionnaires and didn't even know it.
It was monkeypox.
So I pretty
Call
much
back.
I treated it like last year, where I pretty much did my panels and then went back to my room or someplace outside. Because honestly, the people I wanted to see, I made an effort to see, and that was it, right? And I had one panel that I committed to, and the person I committed to was like so incredibly nice, you can't really say no to her. So I did that, and that was actually fun and cool and safe, because the person who was running this panel was actually not letting people in the room that weren't masking, and then actually like stopping the panel, say, "Excuse me, you in the 4th row, please put on a mask." So that was great.
Lovely.
Yeah. So having said that, Valium is your friend.
I have other friends.
No, I mean, I literally was like kind of quasi freaking out. I actually felt better on the plane than I did at the con, which was very strange. Because the airport, everybody had masks on. It was like surreal. It's the one place I expected no one to wear masks, but the airport was wearing masks.
Now, you laugh about the Legionnaire's disease joke, which is funny. But Tuesday after con, I went to, no, was it Wednesday? It was Wednesday after con. I went to the walk-in clinic because my cough still wasn't going away. Everything else seemed fine. My cough wasn't going away, so I had a couple of coughing fits, and so I said, let me go there and have them look at me. And so they listen to my chest and everything, and she goes, oh, there's one part of your lungs that sounds like it's wheezing, or there's some weird sounds coming out of it. You're over 50, so lung cancer is a concern.
Ooh.
I went,
Hang on.
Time out.
Whoa.
Time out.
Hold on.
I just have a cold. I have a freaking.
Hold on.
When did we jump to lung cancer?
Did you go to the WebMD clinic? Because on WebMD, all roads lead to cancer.
So I looked at her. Well, what? And she goes, well, if we got a chance now to sort of catch something early, I'm like, all you had to really say was, we want to do a chest X-ray just to make sure nothing's going on there. I'd have been all right, fine. It sounds like a logical thing to do. No, we're going to tell me possible lung cancer. By the way, no lung cancer, just my normal wheezing.
Well, that's good. On my list of people, to get lung cancer, you're not on it. So,
thanks, I appreciate it. Toughly, however, we got some bad news for you.
Well,
hey,
Wow.
hey,
It wasn't about lung cancer. I was just telling we have some bad news.
on a very special 300th episode of Week in Justice.
Jeez. Wow.
no, I was
Someone in this room has cancer.
Actually, you're not far off.
No.
So this year I was more particular about who I did panels and programming for and who I did it with than last year, and I was pretty fucking insane last year, right? So yeah, I guess my report was like, it went well. I was terrified, and I didn't get sick.
It was okay. I mean,
An after action
I-
report.
Yep.
It was okay.
I mean-
I met up with family that was there, and I did that, and I did my panels, and then I went home.
Yeah.
Because I didn't stay up there.
So how was the? I think the most news I ever got was on how the dealer room was crazy.
I never even got in the dealer room.
I didn't-
I looked
I
at
didn't
crazy
go.
as it always is.
I didn't go because that would require money. And as much as the thing I really wanted to do was go to the arcade, and I'm like, oh, this is a bad idea.
That's a bad idea.
And I didn't.
Now, did you go to the one at the
Great
con?
idea.
Because there was the one that had the pop up, the joystick
Oh,
bar. That
hey,
was
Dom's here. Didn't know some.
Hi.
I didn't go to any of them. So
Dom.
That's not Dom. That's Sub.
That's our 300th joke.
We only had one per episode, and now we've done that one.
That was it.
And
That was
good night,
it.
everybody.
That was it.
Well,
Hey,
look,
though,
that
we
means
have-
I can't use my Rock's Beastie Boys joke.
I was gonna
Ah.
make. She's got that like Hunter Thompson in the Beastie Boys thing going on.
Right.
I do.
I was thinking the University of Miami turnover chain is what she was wearing there.
Only you and I are
my
going to get
chain
that,
of
John.
office.
Oh, I
Only you
got
and I
it.
are going to get that.
Is
For
that a
the,
sports ball thing?
for the passing of the queen, it's my chain of office.
Oh, is
I
that
wear
what
it for
is?
mediation too.
Oh, see, I
She's
thought
not-
you did. I thought you did a mediation.
Can
for
you
Flavor
please-
Flav, and he couldn't
Please
pay
get a
you,
huge
so-
medallion on the end of that for your mediations.
No.
I'm just thinking.
Can you get a clock? Can you get
Yeah,
That's what I
She
was.
literally
that or a
needs a
Mercedes
diamond
symbol.
encrusted house that says Spaz House across the front.
That would be good. That would be good.
How much does he make a custom one of those? Hold on.
there's
I'll
a
be right
there's
back.
a white version of Run DMC called Rocks DMC.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
They're all
So-
retirees.
we have to note that we have 50 more episodes than MASH. And 299 episodes more than Meghan Merkel.
And in case you wanted to know, 295 more episodes than After MASH.
Oh, wow. That's not.
Which we
and
put
about
that on the box. We put
At
that on
about
the box.
290 more than Manimal.
Ran longer than Manimal. That's on the box.
Don't worry. When I bring that back for Netflix, it's going for at least 4 seasons.
Man,
Now-
if you were in Manimal, I'd watch that.
We should have roughly around 900 hours of audio
I'm
at
sorry.
300 episodes. Well, at the end of the
That's
season.
that's
We
terrifying.
should, but then John will just record over.
Almost.
That's-
So when you consider
That's
actually,
although John, that's still less than a Grateful Dead tour, so you're fine.
so
Joseph says happy 300.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
500 times 3 hours.
Shit, we're
That's
mathing
15.
now.
I don't know. That's a
1,500.
Oh,
No,
Okay.
we're
I
not.
thought you
This
I
is
thought
not
you
a math
were in New York,
podcast. What are you
not
doing?
in Florida.
I was led to understand there would be no math.
Mathletes.
Word.
What's up? No.
Oh my
it's
God,
math.
Cuffley, I literally almost had that shirt on.
Oh, the factory one? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
No, that exact one you're wearing right now.
No, I have the exact same one. We both
It's a
wore the
photo-
same
They
factory
just
shirt
share
last
it.
year.
They have shared custody
shared custody t-shirts.
every other weekend.
Ooh,
and most of the
what's that?
playlists.
It is a thing that people worry about.
Oh.
I discovered after Batman that there are people that compare the playlist that Tuffley and I do, and on average we have between 7 and 12 songs overlap per playlist in 2021, whereas in 2020 we had an overlap of 15 to 19.
All right, that
There's
means
a
you're
slight
like
dip in
twins.
overlap.
You're twins, right?
I apparently we're occasionally thinking for ourselves slightly more.
And I
don't
just
know.
said, "That's great. I'm glad you had the time. I gotta go."
You
Were they
seem
doing it by artists? Because which Idol song did Tuffley have, and which Idol song did
There-
Rob
there
have?
was-
There are two things wrong with what you just told me. One, it tells me you have a lot of time. Two, that you're a little creepy.
Yes.
That you're maybe a stalker.
I had a shit ton of creepy all weekend. There was somebody that kept asking me where this one guy comes to the con every year, and he always asked me where Rox was, and I just said, "She's here. You just missed her." And it's like, you just got to look for the bike, man. And Monday, I'm checking out of my hotel, and he's like, "I didn't see Rox all weekend." I said, "Well, she had a lot of panels." He goes, "I didn't see her." I'm like, "Yeah, she used her real name."
Also,
Oh,
Joe just dropped the microphone on us.
I like
Ag.
this one.
Joe, we don't even know how many episodes of the soundboard there were. So.
I don't know.
There's more.
We stopped
We can-
counting. We rebooted the counting like 4 times.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
always do more.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
did. We went the Marvel route, and we just kept rebooting and starting with number
all
one
right,
again.
for the soundboard.
Marvel now, all new Marvel now.
The spectacular
all right.
soundboard,
Here's the
uncanny
thing. For the
soundboard.
soundboard, we're only 10 episodes shy of the Archers. Right, right.
Well, do you mean the original Archers or the rebooted Archers?
Oh my god!
Or Archer on FX.
Or the
We're
I'm
getting-
talking about the Archers English TV radio show.
Yes.
we're
Okay.
getting Brit radio specific. I love this, even though
Rox
it's
and I
making my
did-
eyelashes itch.
Well,
I just know how.
Oh my God.
So the Archers have been on since what? Not since
Yeah.
the coronation.
and they still play. Oh, Rox, have you listened to Alexi Sale's travel thing on the BBC radio yet?
No.
It's amazing.
Is it? I like him.
He
Did
basically.
you read his books? They're
Yeah,
good.
I read his books, and he also he basically Alexi Sale's on this train, and he just doesn't tell him when he's Alexi Sale. He's like, "Hey, how you
Like,
doing? Where are
He
you going?"
doesn't look like Alexis.
No, he's like, "Hey, where are you going?" And this lady's like, "I don't want to talk to you." And he goes, "Okay." How about? Then he talks to the person next to her, and it's like, "Oh, you're going to Birmingham. There's not much to do in Birmingham. Why are you going there?" Just these yeah, it's great.
I have to write that down.
Yeah, I can send you the link to it, which is awesome. It's just fantastic.
I think Alexi Sales is like the underrated Doctor Who character.
Well, his book on psychotherapy that he did with Robert Llewellyn is terrific.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Very cool. So what's his show
did
called?
not know that was a thing.
Hold on.
Alexi Sales travels to a neighborhood near you. So, Dom, what is the longest running German show? We have to make this really international. Our 300.
I really hope that nobody was going to ask me anything before I was finishing the cake.
Yeah, I was going to say, you waited until he started to shovel something in his face.
That's okay. Oh, you got cake.
That is.
Well,
that
he's
is-
celebrating.
That is the way.
He's got his 300 cake.
I
Didn't you
I
not
have
get your
cake
300
here
cake?
as well.
Yeah, we all got cake. Didn't you
Oh,
get one, Raj?
I thought that
Raj.
was the cake he baked like from the first show. I just helped it.
Rox,
Great German baking show.
Rox,
I've decided to break it out now.
Let me take a look at my first podcast in German. How many episodes we have? Because I think we're 415.
Yeah, see, there they go. That's consistency.
We're just
He's only been podcasting for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we used
all-
to
it's
do
all
that.
time
How long
management.
did it take us to get here?
Back in the day, children, we did this every 2 weeks.
Back in the day, you did it every week.
Oh my
That's
god!
right, we did. Didn't we?
That's,
Yeah.
So there you go.
Every week.
And I listened to it in the car on my laptop through
Really?
the laptop speakers.
I thought you were supposed to drive fast on the
Wow.
Autobahn.
Yeah, I did.
He was
Well,
on
the
the
internet's
semi
even faster
Are you
there.
doing laps? Are you like driving to like
Yeah,
Belgrade or
he was
something?
Yeah.
I had an hour-long commute.
He
Okay.
was just doing the ring. That's all.
So here you go. The longest running show in Germany is Tatort, which is crime scene.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
it has gone since 1970 and is still going, and has 1,172 episodes according to Wikipedia, which is always right.
And it is still shit.
Crime scene. Oh my God! So speaking of crime scenes, so now that we
Oh
have,
god, that's a really
Oh my God,
weird
it's on Prime.
transition.
It's
So-
on Prime.
has anyone
Yeah,
seen
but you
on
cannot sleep.
Roku Murder House Flip?
Oh, I've heard of this.
I
It's
know
a-
what you're
it's a-
talking about. No.
It's a joke that became real.
It is. So we watched it because it's like, oh my God, we got to watch it. So it's like those house flipping shows or redecorating shows that you see
Yeah.
on HGTV.
Rox, how are you not
Except-
hosting this? How are
I-
you not hosting this?
I don't know why John Waters isn't hosting it.
'Cause he's
You
on
and
tour.
John Waters. That's what
I
needs to
know
happen.
we would, but I think we even thought that this would even be in bad taste. However, unsuspecting homeowners buy a house where murder was committed, and so they reach out to the effervescent 202 decorators to hide the crime scene. It's like,
Would
Wait
they've
a
not come in
minute.
and cleaned it up since the murder?
Oh,
Isn't
my
that
God,
all
the
filmed in
first-
Southwest
Rob,
Atlanta
so
and parts of College
John,
Park?
John, the first episode.
Literally, the
first
murder was just
episode
yesterday.
Was
Also
was
true.
this woman
It's still in progress. Please don't go in.
who killed her
We're traveling to
husband?
New Orleans.
Hold on.
Hang on, Rox. What?
So one was this woman killed her husband and he bled all over the place. So
I'm sorry, he what?
he bled all.
He told everyone.
Men. Always making a mess.
Eating all that shit.
Well, what we thought we'd do is we thought we'd accentuate the blood splatter with
So
shiplap.
they sell the house. However, they just covered the crime scene. So when they peeled back the old carpet, the one host almost threw up because it's like, oh my God, it's still spongy.
Yikes.
Are we talking about Dom's cake or?
Yeah.
Yes, amazingly, it held up 300 episodes later.
It is red velvet.
Here's the thing.
Is that German
So,
chocolate cake?
No, it's actually red velvet cake.
Sir, that is
anybody
It's very
German
American, actually.
chocolate
Other than
cake.
John Galbo,
Not
who's
German.
watching this live, if you're a realtor, aren't you supposed to disclose to potential new homeowners that this house had a crime scene in it?
No, you're not.
Really?
You have no
thought,
obligation
no,
to
I
tell them
thought
somebody
that
died
really,
in that house.
I thought, well, I don't know.
You know how many people get murdered in America all the time? You don't have to tell people that someone died in there.
There's
I'll
there's
be right
so
back. I
many
gotta go
horror
murder somebody.
movies that
Hold on a
can't be
second.
done if you do that.
Gotta do
Oh
my
my
American duty. Be right back.
Look, you live
Duty,
in
duty.
you live in Florida. All
Okay.
of your homes have got dead bodies underneath.
Depending how long the murder has been, how old it is, so to speak. In Europe, the
thought
likelihood of
I thought
living in a house where somebody was
That's
killed
very
is pretty
true.
high.
That's very true. Now that I think about it.
I'm sorry, man. I gotta
So-
tell you that in 1233 there was a murder that occurred here.
Yeah, might be. I don't know.
Pretty sure my
So-
backyard's filled with skeletons. Who
It
knows?
is.
Actually, that doesn't. Although in Europe that doesn't bring the value down.
This
So,
is true.
could I-
Nothing brings the
That's
value down
great.
anymore.
Look,
Nothing.
man, John's
No.
backyard is filled with
No.
slaves and dead Native Americans. I hate to tell you,
This is
he's
true.
in
Isn't
Florida.
every
That's
house in
just what
Florida?
it is.
Well,
Every house-
yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
So Rox,
Oh!
Yeah.
next time you come here, I'm going to take you to the Exorcist house because the family that bought it has opened it for tours.
Get out. Wow.
Nope.
I'll have to
Get out, Exorcist. I get it. Yeah, nice.
Nope.
Get out. So yes, I think we'll have at least 200 and 75 more episodes than Murder House Flip.
So, Cuffley, that
Yeah.
was one of the reason it's on Roku is because they bought it for pennies on the dollar from Quibi when they were shutting down.
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
was it Quibi or QB?
I
Or
don't.
was that
who
part of
knows?
the problem? Is that nobody could figure out what it was?
Hubert? What? I don't know.
I think it's QB.
It was the Kubert expanded universe.
I think it's QB, as in QB watched later.
They had that ridiculous limit too. It could only be 15 minutes long, something like that. Or
Yep.
I mean, the thing is, like, okay, I get it. It's only 15 minutes long, but, there are film channels that show short films, so that doesn't really help you.
if we had thought to cut this down to 15 minutes per episode, how many episodes do you think that'd be by now?
Oh,
There-
Jesus.
None, because we
Four and a half.
15 divided by 300.
John would have
We
established-
haven't even done introductions yet.
Well, that's
That-
normal.
It's a
We've
bit,
done
it's a
math
bit
4
early,
times.
isn't it?
That might happen on the introductions for this episode will happen in episode 302. It's normal.
Maybe
So-
they already happened in
I mean,
299.
they could have happened in 298. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember what I had for breakfast. Those brain cells are long gone.
You ate them.
Yes, I did.
breakfast.
For breakfast. I ran out of creamer. I used neurons instead. What?
Did you remember the style of Waffle House orders you had for your brain cells?
That doesn't even make any sense. No, I don't. My brain cells were scrambled and covered, though. I'll tell you that.
Yes, there you go.
Oh my God. So yeah, I was going back to Batgirl, which we had talked about previously, briefly.
We did
I was
not buy Batgirl at Dragon Con at 2
No, I know, but it's only a matter of time. I was
not
so just
that Batgirl.
no, not that Batgirl.
Not that girl.
I was so disappointed because the first thing they did was cancel the Wonder Twins feature film, and I was like, "You're going to do a $60 million Wonder Twins feature film," and I hoped that maybe some sanity was coming, but apparently not. They were
No,
run by a
because-
dick now.
I'm
Because
pretty
now
sure
it's-
someone else has already made a Wonder Twins film out there.
Yeah, but one that's one where they're forming of things that they don't have to pixelate.
There was no
Well, that's
pixelation.
true, but
Not in my version.
that was just a bad internet connection.
And the costumes were amazing.
Yeah. Madman's talking about the that classic Wonder Twincest.
That was on Quibi.
What?
That was on. Never mind. Never mind.
Yes. Yes,
Never
John.
mind.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
That's right. We're just not going to talk.
It's already mostly been said. So, what else? What
So-
else? People,
so Batgirl?
people watch Sandman.
The wind.
I have.
I have.
Yes, I'm not done with it yet. We got delayed because we had to take some time to build up to see 24/7 since we knew that was going to be rough. Which
Yes.
So
Yes.
For Sandman,
yes.
Yes.
I'm going slower with it. I
Mm.
think I get sleepy watching the show.
Ironically.
Ironically, yes. I like the show. But there's an article out about the Netflixication, I guess, of the way they film shows.
Okay.
That unlike cinematography, like I don't know, who does like long shots on like something up close, or say a Cohen film or something,
Right.
that a Netflix show does mid-range, right? Not a lot of up close, and you could see this time and time again. You see it in the Crown. You see it in
Daredevil.
in Sandman. That it's just like this. And apparently, they have rules and regulations. They got a big binder that they give to directors and showrunners. These are the cameras we use. This is what you'll use. This is the type of I don't know if they use film, whatever, digital material.
Probably digital.
But these are the parameters we use because we use, most of our shows look good on this ratio of television. So they start looking the same. And I'll have to find the article and I can shoot it to you, WEJ, and you can have it for the after show thing.
Sure.
But it's interesting that after I read that, I'm like, oh yeah, I have noticed that. Because I was just watching the movie Lucky with Harry Dean Stanton. It's his last film, and I think it's David Lynch's daughter who directed it. And there are these wonderful long shots of Harry Dean Stanton of like just walking down the street. And you don't have that because Netflix has this, we need to keep things pacing in such a way, So I've kind of now have looked at the way Netflix has been producing their own material, not buying, because you can tell from when they purchase overseas a show.
A Netflix original.
Correct, yeah. So I've been taking Sandman a little slower because it's like, okay, because I just watched one of their shows. So I had to like give it a break because I'm waiting for somebody to merge all of the Netflix shows and do this weird mashup.
Stranger
Supercuts?
Sandman?
Yeah, so you'd have Stranger Crown.
Sand things?
Sand
Yeah.
things.
Stranger Squid Sand Game.
Sand Things was actually called Dune.
Yeah.
It was up from
Which version? Which cut? I don't know anymore.
So I am watching that, but I'm just taking it a little slower, I think. Yeah.
Visually, that style guide is pretty obvious and pretty annoying because it's so. I hate to sound like Scorsese in this occasion. So anti-cinema.
That is correct. Yes. I would agree with you, especially with the amount of. I mean, look. So the difference between Netflix and I will say HBO, especially with other shows of HBO, such as Boardwalk Empire, which you have the backing of Martin Scorsese, so you're going to ramp that up of something looking like cinema. We all have big televisions. You can do this.
I just realized that Scorsese was given a shit ton of money for The Irishman by Netflix.
This is true.
Yeah.
So here's a question. So is this for just their shows or also for their feature films?
Ooh, good question. As far as I know, it's the shows, but what have they remind me, what have they been producing
Well,
as far
Gray
as
Man.
a theater?
And then you'd have to do the thing between the things they've acquired, like the rights to the Knives Out movies. So obviously they don't have control over those. and then stuff they've made themselves, like Gray Man or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Was Gray Man theirs or did they acquire it?
It was theirs because I believe they
Okay.
they paid for that.
Was that the Russo brothers movie?
Yes.
That was the Russo brothers movie.
Because they said in that interview that one line that I really hated about we shouldn't think about the movie-going experience as something sacred or something like that. That is bullshit or something. And that to me read like, we're producing this for the home theater, so to speak. And yeah, I just don't like it. I don't agree, but
Well,
that's opinions for you.
did you watch the movie? Yeah, it's not the great.
Which one? The Gray
Gray Man.
Gray Man.
Oh, okay.
Gray Man.
Yeah. It's on my plus, but I'm like,
There's a reason they did that one for Netflix.
oh,
We didn't think this one was good. That's why we did it for Netflix. That's what they're talking about. Remember when you people were making or making aiming for things like direct-to-video? Well, we made this with direct-to-video in mind.
you know what? I wonder if that's like that, you know, of what Netflix is doing. And I am watching, you know, the Rings of Power.
How is that?
And that too puts you to sleep.
I tell you, the reason I want to watch that, and it may be like Witcher, where I just fast forward to everything Henry Cavill's in and just skip the rest of it because it bores the shit out of me. But the Galadriel, the actress who's playing Galadriel, and all the scenes that she's in that I've seen look pretty great, and she seems like a bit of a badass. And I feel like that story might be cool, but I don't know about the rest of it.
Well, they did this must have been a shot that Jeff Bezos says, I want this. So the horse, all right, she's on Numenor. There's no spoiler. She's on Numenor. Okay.
Now, is this...
Wait, there are horses?
There's horses
In Middle
on
Earth,
Numenor.
really?
I will say the horse that they got.
Hope none of those horses are black.
This one was, oh my God. This was the horse that they should have gotten for Shadowfax. Because in Lord of the Rings, it's like, here's Shadowfax. And I'm like, what?
It's white.
It's just a, to me, it was like this generic white
The
horse.
Shetland pony.
Pretty much, yeah. So, there's this scene. She's like, oh, we get to ride. So she's on this horse. They do this. How to explain this? She's got flowing robes. They have the air going on her. Her gossamer outfit is just flowing like water.
What you're saying? It's a Bonnie Tyler video.
It is. Oh my God, it is. It is. And I'm like, okay, that's gonna be. That was the scene. Jeff Bezos is like, I've always dreamed of this. I've always dreamed of this. And I'm sure that there's an outfit for his new wife girlfriend.
Was he
Creepier
God.
than the guy who went to talk to Rob about.
To me, it was just like, I really, in Lord of the Rings, I really liked Liv Tyler. Is it Liv Tyler? I really liked her horse scenes because it was just like, okay, yeah, I'm running from these the Black Riders, and it looked good. This one, it was just, we're in a romance book.
So it was porn aesthetics.
Yeah.
You
So
know how much
high class
Wait,
porn.
I'm interested again. What's going on?
You know how much money they
Galadriel's-
stole from Wheel of Time to make that scene?
Oh my
So,
God, yes.
Wow.
Literally, if you compare the two, if you compare what Rings of Power looks like and Wheel of Time,
Yeah.
you're looking at it going, okay, so how much did they pull from the budget here to go to there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, I think somebody had made the comment like, hopefully, if this show fails, I may have to end up paying more for my dishwasher detergent.
You know, the thing is are they pilfering? I mean, no one's read the Silmarillion. I'll just say that.
A
I
couple
got
of people
halfway
have.
through it.
Wait,
I
who
got
did?
halfway through it.
Halfway. Dom, where were
Halfway.
you?
And then I stopped
I
because
got
it
a
was
third or
horrible.
something, but I know at least 2 people who've read it cover to cover.
I got through, and then I found the Cliff Notes. You know,
The only thing
I'm
let me
not
tell
the
you,
person in the house that read the Silmarillion. Let's just put it that way.
I'm sorry, but
It's
the only
not
thing
me.
more boring than the Silmarillion were the Dead Sea Scrolls. I had a book of a translation of the Dead Sea Scrolls, which I was trying to get through, and I didn't do this on purpose, maybe subconsciously, but I left it at a restaurant. But I made it halfway through, and I was like, oh my God, this is drier than the Silmarillion. Jesus Christ, help me.
yeah.
Not good.
And I think they just throw out, oh, Sauron's back, just to keep people still hooked. Like, we're okay, we still got you. We got you.
Now,
But I doubt we'll still have Tom Bombadil. It's just like they just give the hippie, you know, a show. It'll be. I'd watch it.
I know they've already given it a second season anyway because we're so much money in. We just have to keep going.
Still, how do you
Zero sunk cost. We put so much in. We might as well ride this out.
We might as well ride this thing out.
I have a question. Was it just a mistake, or were they not able to get the rights to the Silmarillion because they only bought the rights to the Lord of the Rings and the appendices? Sorry, I'm very dumb.
The way I understand this is Amazon gave the estate $250 million for the rights. And then the estate countered with, okay, and gave them the list of everything they could not do in the television show.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Which is what they did for Peter Jackson. So here's the thing. So Peter Jackson, when it came to The Hobbit, they were able to use because Christopher Tolkien didn't realize that Jackson will pilfer the appendices. But those were the rights that they gave him. So that's where it was like, oh, the necromancer in the woods. So there were so they were able to throw crap into the films that were not in the book, but they were in the appendices. And Christopher Tolkien probably went. So now he came back. It's just like, okay, we need to make this ironclad.
What I really want is for Peter Jackson to put the Lord of the Ring appendices into Get Back.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
So when George left the band, he really went on a quest.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Because nobody would notice.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Then I would watch it Get Back again. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you watch it the first time?
Yeah.
A time? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
watched
make
all
it
the way
through it.
Really?
No, because I'm just like, this is great. Could I get this condensed to like maybe an hour of the good bits? Because, I mean, I don't know. It was just like, you know what it was? It was like the extended versions of Lord of the Rings where you just go, you know, there's a reason why a lot of director's cuts aren't released in theaters.
Yeah, but I enjoyed those. I understand the point, and the movie versions are better paced. They work a lot better. But as a fan who just wants to spend time in Middle Earth and the one Middle Earth that I really like on screen, not the other bullshit that they made, I love the special extended editions.
Yeah.
Well, like, I've actually
Although-
listened to an audio recording of the Get Back sessions, which I found fascinating. And yet somehow the video, to me, bored the shit out of me.
Because
And
you
it
were
wasn't
sitting there
because-
and not doing anything else, maybe? Because I was doing stuff on the side and just let it running in the background.
I don't know. I'm one of these people where if the television's going, I have to watch it. Which is why if I go into a restaurant and there's a television, I have to put my back to it. Otherwise, I'm just going to be doing this the whole time.
Maybe you're living in the wrong country. I think you have 3 televisions per person or something.
No, you're thinking of guns. You're thinking
No,
of
that's 5.
No, that's
We own
just
one.
Florida, John.
We have one television, and there's a single room. That's all we got in this house.
That's rare.
I know.
It
I know
is
it
rare.
is.
We just have one. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I still have one in the bedroom, one in the living room, one in the office, and one disconnected and just sitting on the landing. and it's like
I'm
a
not gonna
65
lie.
inch
There's a
flat
gigantic
screen.
television behind me, so I'm not gonna. No, we
Well,
don't have any television.
I got a TV right there.
No, I've
Well,
had
that's because,
I've had
John,
a
they won't let
television
you
literally
out of that
sitting
room.
on the landing for like 2 years.
That is because he's recording from his panic room.
That's right. Sonia, can I come out now? No, we're still watching our show.
We've got our stories on. You can't come out.
Oh my gosh!
wow.
So speaking of stories,
Oh,
did you
God.
see? I forgot what soap opera is moving to streaming.
Days of Our
Days of Our
Lives.
Lives.
Yeah.
How do you all know this?
I don't
I don't know
know.
this.
Goddamn deal
I
about
have
it.
news feeds, so it's just like, wow, okay. So Days of Our Lives have been
And-
on since.
To
Look at
Peacock.
At this
Yeah.
point, Dom, I'm like Johnny Mnemonic, where I'm just removing data from my head to keep space.
This is what
I
this
get
show's
it.
for.
This
your
is.
data dump.
This is. Oh my God! Yeah. Yes.
I did not know
So
that.
that leaves 3 shows on broadcast, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not mistaken.
Days of Our Lives. Edge
2
of
of them are on
Night.
the
And they're all
2
Law
of
and
them are on the
Orders.
same networks.
No, is
Yes,
that-
they're all Law and Orders.
that the last soap? What other soaps are still around?
Young and the Restless,
General
Bold and Beautiful, and
Hospital.
General Hospital.
Okay, all right. So
Did the Bold and the Beautiful end?
Know this.
And
Oh,
Grey's
No, the Bold and
Anatomy.
Beautiful is still on.
Okay.
wow, it's more than I thought. What was the
So
one that
there's
ended
still 3
recently?
on broadcast.
What was
What?
one that ended recently that was a big deal? Oh,
It was Neighbors.
is that what I'm thinking of?
Santa
Maybe it is.
Barbara. Santa Barbara.
That was.
Oh, I thought you said
Margot-
Hanna-Barbera for a second. I was like,
Well,
what?
that's that ended.
the thing Kylie Minogue and Margot Robbie did the cameos in.
It was Falcon Crest.
Guy Pearce.
That was Neighbors.
Ooh,
It's
those
Neighbors.
are the evening soaps.
That's
Those are
true.
the
I-
evening soaps.
I
Hey,
read
hey,
actually.
Rox.
Yeah.
All of the shows in the evening are soap operas.
Well, this is true.
Every last one of them.
Every show we watch is a soap opera.
Most
or
of
at least becomes a soap opera.
it has
Yeah.
all become
Walking
a soap
Dead.
opera.
This is a soap opera.
It is.
Exactly.
It absolutely is.
This is more like a
Tune
dope
in
opera.
next week when Rob says,
Hi.
What's up?
Yeah. I'll tell you this. Doc went upstairs for like 3 years,
"This
and
is
then
true."
Came back.
yeah,
Came down and then went back upstairs again.
That
I know.
Although
happened.
weirdly, he came back down a teenager, which is kind of weird how reversed
I know,
that
that was
is.
weird.
So yeah,
Right.
we
That-
were ripping
that
off the Tony Stark
happened.
storyline.
Yeah. Well,
he
no, that,
regenerated younger.
yeah. Well, that did happen on a soap. That somebody
I'm
went
sure it did.
upstairs.
Everything has
did.
happened on a soap.
And then some old lady comes down and said, "Hi, how are you?" It's like, where have you been?
Yeah,
I was
This
just
episode of
upstairs.
Soap.
Speaking of soaps, I think my favorite episode of Spaz House is the one where Rue McClanahan gets buried alive by accident. That was
The first or the second time?
the third.
Hmm.
That was when Roxanne had to call.
She was
Her
tricked by
neighbor.
cheesecake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily,
She
Rock
was
still
tricked
had
to
the
the promise of
backhoe
cheesecake.
from the previous episode. Oh my god.
I was going to say something, but I stopped. Okay.
Yeah, no, apparently I read an article where everyone was very impressed with Guy Pearce because he got his start on Neighbors and came back and didn't do a cameo. He like did the full episode and
Yeah.
like resolved the storyline that had been left hanging for years and years and years, and all the
Wow.
show's fans were singing his praises.
That's the
I'm
way
like,
to do
well,
it.
that's pretty cool.
Nice.
But yeah, it got canceled because the network in
was
Britain wasn't
I
going to
think it
carry
was-
him anymore.
Was it the BBC that said they wouldn't pay for it anymore? Or was it had it moved to ITV? I forget.
I think it was ITV.
Okay.
I think, but I'm not sure. I don't think it was on BBC at that point.
But yeah, the network, the British network was not going to co-produce it anymore.
Right. So they couldn't afford to do it on their own.
Yeah, it was because it was apparently still highly rated in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that must be what I'm thinking of.
So Scott Bakula passed on the new Quantum Leap. Did I
No,
read
they
that
didn't-
right?
They
Just
didn't
like all the
invite-
viewers of NBC.
Well,
they
Didn't really
invite him.
ask him. It's
He'll
really
show. He'll show up.
He
He'll show up
tweeted
as
he
that
tweeted out that
guy.
he got the scripts and that this character was in the pilot script.
So
But he didn't really say that he passed on it. But if he's not in it, then he probably passed on it.
He's used to
judging by the
NCIS
seats
money.
that he has at the Blues Tech games, I don't think he needs the money.
No.
No.
It was probably a decision of no, I don't want to do this.
Well, too, with him doing what was he on? Frontier? What Star Trek one?
He was an
He's on
Enterprise.
Enterprise.
Enterprise. Yeah, it's like, oh no. Let people forget I was on Quantum Leap.
Nobody will ever
He's
forget
very.
that.
He's
Yeah,
very
no,
It took most
think
of us a
people-
minute to
Leap
remember
was a great
Enterprise.
movie.
What are you talking
People would rather forget
I
it.
watched one episode of that, and I'm like, okay.
He's very
Is that the
proud
one
of
with the
Quantum
Rod
Leap.
Stewart theme? Yeah, okay. No, sorry.
He's very
Yeah.
proud of Quantum Leap, but I also think that he wouldn't feel comfortable doing it without Dean Stockwell. I think that's part of it too.
Yeah, there was a good chemistry with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without
Well,
that,
there
there
was
wouldn't
also-
have been
there was
five
also the
seasons.
way-
5 seasons?
Yeah, there was also the way the OG
Five.
Quantum Leap ended.
Do you have the
Because
box
that
set behind you?
wasn't-
Yeah.
That wasn't the script. The ending. They just the
course you do.
title card at the end. That was just added.
Oh.
They didn't. That wasn't actually written.
Huh.
That wasn't the actual written end of that episode.
Wow. I you know what? I felt that thing like
He never made
ended
it
like,
home card. Was not what was
oh.
the ending.
I don't know. I didn't like that cheesy end. It was like Lost ending.
Come on.
Yeah.
No, it
No.
wasn't.
No, not
hey,
really.
you have to do this forever now. And so it's like, oh, okay.
No, it was highly confusing. You know, the ending of Quantum Leap was like the other seasons of Lost were, because the ending of Lost tried to give an answer, which was pretty stupid.
You know,
Yeah, I mean,
you
technically
really
in the last
we're all in
episode,
purgatory, and we all know each other for all eternity.
Yeah,
So wasn't the last episode of Quantum Leap where he fixed Al's marriage?
he did that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything
So
else
that-
you couldn't really
So that
understand.
theoretically Al wasn't part of the experiment.
No clue. I'm just rewatching
Yeah.
Timeless, which I really enjoyed when it came out, and they mess up the timeline so much you stop worrying about stuff like that. They shoot people left and right.
Nice.
But it had been like I know that Al's marriage had been like Al's first marriage had been like a plot through the whole like maybe last
Yeah.
season. And he goes back he leaps back and fixes it.
He does.
Yeah. So
I mean,
spoilers
fixes.
for Quantum
it-
Leap.
It's. I think he was lost in the war and he declared dead, and his wife remarried, and
Yes.
he just
Happily
returned.
Thank you.
Happily
Thank you.
married.
Spoilers for a 40 fucking year old show. Thanks.
You know.
Is it really 40 years old? It's not really 40 years old, is it?
I am 40 years old.
I don't think it's 40, but
Pretty close.
it feels that way.
Pretty close.
It does. It does feel that way.
Pretty close.
So when are we gonna get a remake of something like decent, like Street Hawk? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Automan.
Where's
Turbo
Where's-
Oh
G.
man, hell yeah!
Where's the creator of Turbo Man trying to get Twitter support to bring his show back on the CW?
Seriously.
I just want Cop Rock to come back.
By the way, can I just say,
Wow.
how much of a fucking effort do you have to go to get like a Twitter trending thing so your show can be picked up by the CW?
Ooh. All right.
How far
Here's-
down the mountain are
okay.
you?
So, how many years do you think it'll be before they reboot Golden Girls?
Oof.
And
Oh,
who
I'm
would
sure
be
that-
in it? I would say it would be an elderly Tina Fey,
Jane Lynch.
Elderly. Oh, that's
Jane Lynch.
Elderly?
So
Jane Lynch. Okay, yeah.
how much more elderly?
I don't know. Enough for people to go, oh, the rents are rising. We all need to live together.
So
Which is now.
now.
Which is now.
I read that the Friends cast is currently older than the youngest Golden Girl when they started Golden, Girls.
yes.
That is correct.
Yes.
Wow.
Like if you
Well,
look
yeah.
at the ages that they were supposed to be on the show, and it's like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
the mom was the youngest one of them, wasn't
Correct.
Pretty
Yep,
much.
she
Yes,
was.
Estelle Getty was the youngest
Yep.
actor on the show.
she? Yep.
And the best.
So,
Well,
yeah,
to be
this is
fair,
great.
B. Arthur
So
has
I
always
think
been older.
I love B. Arthur.
Yes, B. Arthur has always been old.
course.
Yes.
Even
Oh
as
my
Maud,
God.
she was older.
So who saw so going back to Dragon Con, somebody had a picture of Deadpool with one of those plaid jackets, and I will kill for the B. Arthur t-shirt. I'm like,
Oh, you need a B. Arthur t-shirt?
yeah. I
Wait,
don't-
what B. Arthur T-shirt was it?
It was just that one where she's like, you know,
Okay.
her stand.
So
And
Rox,
that's what it was.
the
Yeah.
place where I had my Paul Lynde shirt had B. Arthur shirts. I'll send you the link later.
All right, great.
I discovered too at Dragon Con that the Paul Lynde shirt glows in the dark,
Wow.
which kind
Yeah.
of scared me.
How did you
I mean,
figure that out?
I hadn't ever really worn it at night, and I was coming into the room without any lights on, and I'm like, oh, it glows in the dark.
Have you ever been in a dark room and seen the floating glowing head of Paul Lynde?
Yeah, he basically he threw it
Damien,
on a chair in his
I
hotel
don't know if
room.
you know this, but like, I'm so fucking weird. I don't leave the lights off because I'm afraid somebody will stab me in the middle of the night. So, you know.
Is that Janet?
No,
Is it a likely scenario? That's the
she lost a
question.
bet, so she won't.
No, she'd kill him with one of his records.
So how come there's not an
He
Agnes
would just smash
Moorehead
his record collection.
Exactly.
t-shirt? There should be one for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh, that's pretty great.
But it was a Deadpool. I'm like, oh my god, I so want that.
Oh, it's the God Save the Queen B. Arthur shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a really cool Agnes Moorehead and Bewitched shirt that's out.
There.
Yes.
I need that.
Mm.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found one for you, Rox.
We've descended into T-shirt hell. Okay, go
No, we
ahead.
have. Wait, we have because I mean this is important. If you're like, oh, I need a
Our fans will thank us.
Can you share your screen? You probably share your screen.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Thought
yeah.
that Charles Nelson Riley won.
Oh. Ooh.
Which are you at
Well,
liberty
okay,
to say
but
what
which
you do?
one?
At Lidsville.
From Match Get? Oh, really, Lidsville? Okay.
Yeah, I tried to find a match game one, but they just did a Richard Dawson one. I'm like, that's not really cool.
Oh, I like that one. That
Yeah,
was
but
good.
I want a Richard Dawson from Family Feud because the sport coats were exceptionally terrible.
They were.
Well, they
Which-
tried. So Sabrina was a bad show, but you know, springing off of shows. All right, Green Acres. They should bring that back.
And Petticoat Junction.
Petticoat
We're
There you
kind
go.
of living in Green Acres right now. I don't really want to see it back.
I like Green Acres.
But it's a place to be.
The white rich guy coming into like the quiet farm and telling everybody what to fucking do. No, thank you.
Yeah, but the thing is you had somebody like Mr. Hay. Oh my
So you
god,
mean
a Mr.
all of
Haney
history?
shirt.
I
Mr.
mean, to be
Haney.
fair, that's every
Well,
HGTV
all American
show
history.
Yes. Mr.
Mr. Douglas.
I had a teacher in high school that looked like Mr. Douglas. It was very frightening. They looked like Eddie Albert. It was really great.
Wow. Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was great.
Look, we had a high school teacher that looked like Schmeagol. So
Didn't everyone?
yes, but he was
Didn't everyone look like Schmeagol?
No.
he was day drinking.
So wait,
See, I went to
how
Catholic
is
school.
Spiegel
so
not your? How
all the
is Spiegel
nuns
not
look
your
like
shop
Schmeagol.
teacher?
all the nuns look like Schmeagol
Our
or
Lady of
Agnes
Perpetual
or
Presence?
Agnes Moorehead. So
I don't know.
this is probably the most free advertising Agnes Moorehead has gotten in like 30 years.
I know. Yeah.
Which is a shame because she's fantastic.
Yes, she has a star on the Walk of Fame in St. Louis, and there is actually a documentary coming out about her.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
some guy here did one.
Nice.
So there was a shirt, and it had Pat Buttram, who played Mr. Haney, and it said, "What would Mr. Haney do?"
Mm.
But it's no longer available.
Wow. That's just sad. You should probably do like a Google image search because seeing as how t-shirt sites rip each other off left, right, and center.
All the
Yeah.
time.
Hey,
I'm just
John.
saying.
Hey, John.
Yes.
could you find a night in your schedule one night just to do a show called Weird T-Shirts with Robin Rocks, where we just talk about weird fucking
shirts.
T-shirts?
Okay.
I have a
Yes,
zine. So Rob,
You guys could do it. You guys could do it as a QVC thing.
we could. Now
Oh,
there's
wow.
Rob, there's a zine. I got it up in Baltimore.
Of course
Yeah,
there
there's a-
is.
There
there's
is.
a zine
always
on-
a zine.
There's a zine of during the lockdown. This guy has a zine about
Hold
all
on.
the T-shirts he wore.
Yeah, I saw that. Hold
Yeah,
on.
it's
in my
good.
stack? Is that in my stack? No, it's not in my stack.
No, it's in mine. I have a pile.
I got
She has
lonely.
custody of the
I got
sack,
one
Rob.
called Lonely Night Tonight. That's the new one I got.
Ooh,
That the guy talks about all the rejected attempts of dating that he did during the lockdown.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Rocks. Oh, Rocks, I got a box of zines I just need to send you.
Please do. We have a festival coming
Things
up
only
in
sentences
October.
only ever formed on this podcast.
Yeah,
See?
I know.
Doesn't Dom, you have zines, right? There's zines made in Germany.
Probably.
You have paper, correct?
You invented the printing press.
So Rocks, there is apparently an amazing zine store in a friend of mine is teaching over in Romania, and there is a really great zine store in Bucharest. Apparently,
There's a good one in Amsterdam. Yeah,
The one we went to
it's
in-
where the civil servants are.
there's a really great one in Prague that we discovered when Jen and I were on our honeymoon. I said, "Ooh," and she goes, "Oh shit, not here too."
Do you have anything to
yeah.
declare? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I have lots
15
of
pounds of zines.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know,
yeah.
I have to say this though. You know,
Do you have to declare 15 pounds of zines if they only
when
cost like a penny?
I left Hungary with like
I left
a
hungry
suitcase,
too.
a suitcase and a half full of
I'm
booze,
currently hungry.
full of booze.
I have
And the
cake.
guy and the guy at Hungarian customs
Cake's a
looks
lie.
at me and goes, "You American? Yeah, you have more booze than you're supposed
It's
to."
delicious and moist.
And I said, "Yes, I do." And he goes, "Have a good flight."
That
Yes, I'm
happens.
American. Did we miss that part? I said I'm American. Of course I have more booze.
And I have
Rob, did
many
I send
televisions
you
at home.
wasted quarters?
Yes.
No, you haven't.
How many televisions do you have
Televisions and
packed?
guns.
Owning more televisions than you can shoot with your guns. That's the
No.
goal.
Now, when
I have a gun television.
I cleared out the when I went to
We have,
when I
we
went
have,
to
we have
John
the
This is the
ceremonial
remote control.
Elvis television and the ceremonial gun.
Yeah, when I went to John Waters' bookstore, I cleaned out about a section and a half of zines. Boy, they were happy to see me fucking leave.
Oh, yeah. My sister's like, "What are you buying?" I'm like, "Oh, here, you'll need to read."
And
it."
then there's a record store next door. John's like, "Did you go to the record store next door?" I'm like, "No." And he goes, "Oh, it's a real hoot." I'm like, "Really? What did you buy there?" He goes, "Connie Francis." I'm like, yes.
Get out! Did
They'd have-
you go through that little free library that's around the corner?
Yes, I did.
I did too. Yeah.
There's a really great free library over by the Poe grave too. That's awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed that. Oh. All right. So yeah,
Sorry.
that's all right.
No, you're
Did
fine.
I send you some wasted quarter
No.
from that
You
guy?
just sent
All
me a
right.
penny. You sent me a penny with shit on it. I don't.
Okay.
Is that
What
what it was?
this is where you send her the
I
12
zoned out for a
albums,
second.
don't
What the
you
hell's going
remember?
on?
She said a wasted
Rex
penny. I
is
was like,
sending shit pennies.
Wait, it's
No, it's called Wasted Quarter. I talked about it. It's this guy that had the zine that I had for 10 years or something. And
you told me about it, but you haven't sent it to me yet.
okay, I
Let's
have
just-
a pile, so I gotta send
I
it
do
to
too.
you.
Let's just set up some
Basically-
time. Let's set up some time this week to have your people call my people and talk
Have a
about
pile of
zines,
shit
We'll
pennies?
do.
so we
yeah.
don't bother all these other nice
I-
people.
A shit
I
pile of
know.
pennies?
John,
Read a
basically what they have
zine.
are these are pennies that are eaten by civets, and then they poop them out and they make great coffee.
Oh, I see.
No, well,
You-
I mean, it could be, but then again, you could be sending shitty pennies and getting back like Connie Francis records and Paul Abdul records, and not the good ones, like the third Paul Abdul album. And then
Yeah.
I
So
ended
we
up
got
in
that
a new
grunge
High Fidelity
Mariah
book.
Carey album coming.
yes, oh my god,
Oh,
I
so
am-
happy to see that.
I'm twistedly curious about that. I just
You can be.
what divorce makes a woman do?
You can be. Oh, that's so nice of you.
Well, you know, when your former husband is just popping out kids left and right, you kind
Well,
of feel some
yes.
shit.
You
when
know,
your
it's great.
former husband is popping out kids? What?
Did he transition very successfully?
He did.
All I know
He
is
did to
that
someone much younger.
they need to drag Mariah Carey into The Hague for crimes because that fucking Christmas record is an abomination.
Sir, it's almost Christmas time. All right.
Yeah. Hey,
coming.
don't
It's
fucking
coming.
ruin my day. All right.
She's
Third
warming up her
Halloween.
vocal pipes right now.
No
Don't ruin-
Christmas.
You
No
may not
Christmas.
know. You may not know this. Now, I won't ruin it for your kid because it's a magical thing. But I am not necessarily a fan of Christmas. So, which is
Me
hard
neither.
because
Hold on.
my
Me
9-year-old goddaughter like fucking loves it. And I'm just
Me neither, but
That's-
unfortunately,
that's
my
the
wife
time I
is
get
going to
to clear my Amazon
indoctrinate
wish
that
list.
little guy.
What are you talking about?
That's okay.
Well,
we can.
what else
we
would
can
you
work
do
on that.
on the 25th?
Christmas
man,
is what
we
you
can
make
work
of
on
it. Damn.
Rox, are you in New York for Christmas?
No.
Or do you know? Damn it. Okay. Well, I'm
What?
going
What do you
out
when you mean Christmas?
Well, hold
you
on.
mean like
She
the
lives in Florida, so
Well,
that's
she's
kind
in
of
New
like
York.
New York,
Yes.
because everyone else is a transplant.
Yes, but Rox and I saw each other in Thanksgiving in New York once.
Yeah, it was
And
great.
there was and
There it is.
And
I have one of
ironically, there was an art
I already
heist
own that.
the same day.
Called a bop gun.
No, I think we're gonna go up the week of Christmas too. If
Wait,
everything,
The week
if
of
Ice
this-
Cube song?
Christmas.
Yeah, I'll let you know if the pandemic
right.
dies down, then we might go.
It was yeah. I was up there for all of August or
Okay.
July, so it was
Yeah.
it was good. So
I've avoided having to go to Florida. I'm sorry.
that's okay. That's okay.
Most people who live there
We
avoid doing that.
we understand. Trust us.
we do.
Like,
Besides, if you showed up here, we just send you someplace else anyway.
Or shoot you.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, John, if you want a free vacation, I'll just call DeSantos and tell him that you're like Croatian and have him send you to like Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, the
With
problem
a
is I
family.
actually have to be in another state so they can claim that I'm might have come to Florida
I will say
at
that is
some
Yeah,
point in
dude,
my life.
you have to
Therefore,
go to
I can ship
Texas
you wherever I
first.
want.
getting
You have to
those
go to Texas
50
first.
people out of Florida is probably the most humanitarian thing DeSantis has ever done.
Now, in fairness, they were in Texas, so he actually did them two favors.
Out of Texas
They-
and out of Florida.
Yeah, they actually, so legitimately,
Nobel Peace Prize.
being serious, they were not even in Florida. They
great.
flew them from Austin
It's which,
Oh.
if you can imagine,
temporarily to Florida for like a half hour to get refueled, and then to Martha's Vineyard.
so Widge, do you remember?
And on top of that, they were here legally anyway, so there's all that information too.
do you remember Return and Escape to Witch Mountain? Because that's what the plot's like.
The one with Betty Davis.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
The one with the rock.
Spoilers.
Oh,
Actually, wait, Eddie Albert's in the first one, isn't he?
Yes.
yeah,
All
he
back.
is.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And he's not wearing a suit.
and Christopher Lee and Betty Davis are in the second one.
Yeah.
Yep.
hmm
We've been
Oh,
here for
speaking
5
of, like,
hours. You wanna
content-
do introductions now?
No.
Yeah.
What's that, Rox?
Oh, I was gonna say I rewatched Westworld and Future World because I've been watching
All the worlds.
Westworld. All the worlds, yeah.
Straight because I've been watching Strange New Worlds.
I've been watching Another World.
Yeah, I have to
I've
say,
been watching As the World Turns.
I've been watching Journey to the Center of the Earth, but I got the wrong memo.
I have to say, Anson Mount is.
I've been
is
watching
great.
World Meets Boy, Boy Meets World as well.
World Meets Boy?
Well, according to
That's
the
the
reflexive
sequel.
axiom, both are the same.
That's.
It's a coming
thought
of
there would
age,
be no
coming out
math.
story set in Atlanta, toughly.
Our 300th episode sounds like our first episode.
Actually, the first
Beginning is
episode
our
sounded
end.
horrible.
But with nicer people.
The sound quality is a little bit better, but it's still really, really
Well, there was
six
some
people talking to
really-
each other at the same time, with different
We're so much
conversations
younger
going on.
and
Dom, have you been to
Looking
America?
out.
Eat coffee bingo.
I've been to America 4 times, I think.
We're so old. We started this
We're
podcast
sorry.
in
We
Texas.
still do this, yeah.
We're
Oh my
couch
God.
talk is what podcast aficionados call our show.
Yes, couch talk.
Until I say, but we have well over 200 and something episodes. Really? Yeah. We don't have we have a sound engineer. So that's always
We don't have as
good
many
and bad.
listeners, but we have the episodes.
Oh no,
We have a
we
Using,
guy.
using those
We
terms
have a
generously.
guy. All right.
We're a
That's what we
podcast
call
so
it. Chase
unpopular.
Lounge
Adam
Talk
Curry
podcast.
hasn't sued us yet.
What?
Exactly. Welcome to our first show.
we have more than 200 listeners. It's just there's not a regulatory commission that counts people in coma.
Yes, but not at the same time. It's 200 over time.
Let me check that. How many people are in a coma right now?
Does not include people on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Well-
then the number's way lower.
I've been
Wow, there's a Reddit thread for it, of course. First reply is I am.
it's better than Wikipedia.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Somebody's
my
always
God.
got to be
speaking of
first.
like the quality of podcasts, did anyone read the article about Crime Junkie? Does anyone listen to that?
No.
So it's a
But it's crime junkie.
so it started out like, I don't know, like our show. You know, one lady calls up her friend and they're talking about crimes, but all of a sudden
This is Wicked
have-
Justice.
I know this
Okay.
yeah. Well, it'd be like, "Hey, Myrtle, how are you? What
Midge,
crime
you up?
And
Oh.
they'll talk about a crime that
I'm
they're
up
doing
now.
research on, and all of a sudden, like over the last couple of years, they're one of the top leading, other than like Joe Rogan and Meghan
Is it a
Markle
super
for
PAC?
a day.
Is it a super PAC?
I think so. But
Yeah.
all of a sudden they have like a staff of 30 and stuff. And it's just like, and they all have the podcast voice. Hi, this is Rocks of Spaz House. Welcome. It's just like,
Hello, this is
do
an
you need
SM7B, like everybody else uses.
Ooh. I think
That's
that was
really
in that
good.
Batgirl movie we were talking about before. Yeah, Rock. But I mean, if you think about it, we did start the same thing because Rox used to call in and talk about crime all the time. So
But you were not allowed to
But those-
record that.
But those were
No, I
ones
know.
she committed.
Wasn't that a special episode
Those
of
are-
Spaz House?
those were
absolutely
alleged crimes.
alleged.
That's not what Brian Setzer said.
Allegedly.
Look, man, anything after that first fucking swing album by Brian Setzer is a crime.
Leave studio.
Oh my God.
Hey, Rox, next time I come to Jacksonville, can you take me to meet Brian Setzer so I can give him a list of grievances?
I can, yes.
Be awesome.
All I have to do
And they can make a
is
zine about it.
all I have to do is like write a complaint on my neighbor's house next door and say, "Hey, your tenants are at it again," and that message will get to them.
Or tell them that there's suddenly a shortage of leather jackets. That'll do it.
No, mm-mm.
That could go a
Yeah.
number of disturbing directions.
I know. Yes, will. So, what's my favorite murder? Oh my God, that the new podcast is what's my favorite murder.
Ooh.
Tune in to Flip the Murder House. Murder House Flip.
Does the murder have to have
Lawrence
happened
does
already?
Sunday.
So if you ask the guy at my local coffee shop, his favorite murder is the U.S. government's murder of Buddy Holly, which I found incredibly fascinating.
But why would I ask him?
What?
I know, it was awesome. It was awesome. I just
Wow.
sat there. Oh no!
How could the government forge that last scene in La
Well,
Bamba?
first
How
of
could
all,
that happen?
That you
Hey,
have
spoilers.
a favorite murder.
I haven't committed it yet.
Well, I'd have to say,
Only murders in the yard.
Is the murder bigger than a bread box? Is it?
Well,
Oh,
there was.
he's pointing
I
out
don't know about
that's
murder.
the name
but-
of the podcast you're looking for, I think.
I don't know about murder, but there was a time I died when there was only an audience of about 3 to 4 people. That was pretty bad.
Yeah. I'd have to say it's either George Ribs or maybe, well, the Black Dahlia's kind of gotten really popular.
Yeah. Did they find they found new evidence
Yeah.
I always find new evidence.
in the bottom of a teacup?
I think Rasputin is my favorite.
The aspartame.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was always fond of Murder by Numbers, but
Ooh.
It's easy to learn, I hear.
thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
As ABCs.
Yep. Yeah, Rasputin's good. Rox, you're a fan of the Rasputin murder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
They
figured,
poisoned him.
among
and
other things.
stabbed him, and he
Shot
couldn't
him.
die. Yes. Mhm.
It's like Stop That Pigeon, but with a bad man.
Yeah, but you know what? They probably shot him with like what, a 22 or something. It's, you're talking the 1917 is just like pew pew, and
That's not the.
and the thing
point.
is nobody drank water back then, so everybody drank alcohol.
That was historically accurate, Dom. You shut your
So-
mouth.
Calvin Coolidge drank water.
Wait, the
Oh,
stormtroopers
yeah.
killed Rasputin.
That's why they didn't hit him.
So poison,
Exactly.
you could poison somebody, but his system's already been poisoned because it's like water. What the hell's that? No.
I mean,
So-
Keith Richards, man.
So, Rox, that question leads to another question that only you will understand, and that is who's killing the great chefs of Europe?
Ooh, I don't know.
Kids, ask your grandparents.
Gentrification.
I'm just reminding Rox
Flavortown.
Yeah.
critiquing the prolonged murder of Rasputin reminds me of Christopher Lee educating Peter Jackson on what it sounds like when a man gets stabbed in the back.
I've heard that before. You never forget that sound.
I don't have to imagine it.
I can keep a secret. Can't you?
Yeah, Rox, you'll appreciate this. So I'm watching the BBC Maestro class that Edgar Wright did for filmmaking, and because basically I bought the Alan Moore one, and they came back and said, we're doing a subscription. You could get the subscription for just 25 more pounds or something like that. So I said,
Yeah.
and I saw Edgar Wright was on the in their little mosaic, even though it hadn't been announced yet. So I was like, oh, I'm getting a. But he tells the story about going. I think he was in Buckingham Palace, and he ran into Christopher Lee, who was also there. He talks about.
As you do.
He talks
Yeah.
about the Queen didn't know who anybody was, so you had George Lucas walking around with a name tag on that says George Lucas, film director, and so. But yeah, so he ran into Christopher Lee and didn't actually say anything because he was just so stunned. I mean, but I love that idea of George Lucas meeting the Queen. And what do you do?
What do you do? I believe I saw your film.
I think she might have known Christopher Lee.
One would hope.
Yeah.
George Lucas, producer of Radioland Murders.
Oh wow!
Did you produce Murder, She Wrote? I love that show.
Oh my god! Yeah. So speaking of soap operas and stuff, I really think since The Walking Dead is splitting into these various shows that no one gives a shit about.
I thought that was gone.
No, it's not.
No, it's
not ended yet.
It's like the cockroaches. They
Yeah.
keep going and
But
airing
But
on Sunday
basically,
nights.
they have this big Rick and Michonne series that's supposed to happen.
They haven't killed her off yet?
No. And basically, if that turned out to be like a 3-camera sitcom, I would forgive everything that they've done. 'Cause that would be amazing.
It's a house flipping show, Edge.
They did. No, they did.
Michonne will say, the floor is still spongy.
It's a completely different show from The Floor is Lava. The floor is spongy. Stay off the floor. It's sticky.
That's a different Attack the Block, Wedge.
Oh hey. And there's a sequel to that coming.
So,
Yeah.
so
Really?
Midge, going
When?
back to the British.
Not soon enough.
When?
So going back to the British masterclass thing, did
Yes.
you understand anything from Alan Moore?
Yes.
Was there
Absolutely.
subtitles?
No.
He's so easy
I'm-
to understand, really.
Yeah.
He just sounds
Were
interesting.
there sock puppets involved?
I don't know.
No.
One time I was watching
No,
something
I
and I'm
think
like,
he
I
mentioned
can't
it, though.
watch this man. He'll cause instant. He's a walking Necronomicon. That blood will come from your eyes.
I mean, he will
Like,
take that, but
Have you been watching Giuliani again?
Whoa. Whoa.
I mean,
Sorry.
no, the Alan Moore one was pretty great.
Yeah.
He was hilarious. Dom, have you watched it? Oh, it's so
I'm
good.
halfway through, I think, and I had to make one meme out of it where he said, don't, whatever you do, don't write Mein Kampf. And I just took a screenshot of that and wrote, there are a lot of books about writing, but Alan Moore beats them all because he includes this simple tip. And yeah, that's just perfect.
Yeah, I also like the bit where he said, he was talking about the writer's life, and he said, I want you to take a look at this face and these haunted eyes. This is what happens with a writer. This is 40 years of professionally writing. You could wind up like this. I just
that's
want
what
you
I
to
meant.
consider that.
You sound like an Italian. Please stop
That's what I
trying.
meant. He's
What?
a walking
You sounded
Necronomicon.
Italian when you tried to speak like him.
I wasn't trying to speak like him.
Really?
Yes.
That's not very nice.
You
I
bleed
know
from
that I
every
can't
orifice.
speak like him, so I just
Nobody
don't.
can.
No, I know. Oh my God.
Your eyes will bleed.
Again.
Again.
Is that,
Yeah.
is that like Ringu? Are you going to be dead in 2 days now?
Yes. Yeah.
But I like that for a title for a cheap horror movie. Your eyes will bleed again.
That sounds like a Giallo film. Seriously.
So, Edge, I know you've seen the Werewolf by Night trailer. Probably
Yes.
several times by now.
Yes.
Has anybody else seen this?
No,
The
not yet.
what? The what?
Oh,
I've
absolutely-
seen nothing recent.
basically, it was announced at D23. It's being directed by Michael Giacchino, who did the score for The Incredibles, amongst other things. This is his directorial debut, basically. And the trailer is like a special presentation television commercial from like, I don't know, the 60s or 70s. And it's done in black and white. It's kind of like a retro Hammer horror looking thing. And it looks
Ooh.
amazing.
Kind of like a cross between Hammer horror and like a snuff film.
Kind of,
I like
it reminded
that.
me.
Well, that would
it
be an
reminded
Italian
me of-
film.
From Disney.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see here, the opening of it is amazing. There you go.
That would be like Argento.
They- That I was in from the moment I saw that. It made me so happy. But yeah, it reminded me of Edgar Wright's Don't trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there's the title card. It's amazing. But yeah, I
Yeah.
can't wait to see this.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I like that.
Ah.
I like
every
that.
little every once in a while though, people still ask Edgar Wright if he's ever going to make Don't.
I do every year. I do, because I post it. I'm like, this is the greatest, trailer for a film that doesn't exist ever. And I've seen him respond to people. He's like, all the best bits were in the trailer. I don't
Yeah.
know what else we would do. I'm like, you think of something, do it.
Or don't.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, that and the South will rise again.
Whoa.
I'm still sad that. No, it was basically a trailer, like a concept trailer for a film that was going to be made and wasn't, about this redneck meth lab that explodes and changes the person into a zombie, and then there's like a zombie apocalypse in the middle of Rednecksville, and
They all starve because brains. Sorry, just had to.
That's the John Russo. That's the John Russo version.
And how do we know that hasn't already happened in Madison County?
Yeah, that's true. It probably would. And Limestone County.
I don't get it, but it's still funny.
Limestone County is where we had a
Alabama was
rule.
just offended just then, but who cares?
Yeah, they don't know how to work technology. They're not listening.
It's okay. They're gonna all get taken out by Cocaine Bear.
What?
God.
Hold on. There's a real film that is coming out, right? Called Cocaine Bear, right?
Okay.
And it is based on a real life event where this bear literally ingested entire
Bear the animal or bear the,
bear the animal.
Okay.
And
No, it's the Alabama football coach.
he gets into someone's drug stash and ingests a large amount of cocaine and goes on a rampage.
As they tend to do.
Wow.
And I'm like, you know what?
This is
I'm
the
in.
Prophecy remake I was not
I'm
expecting.
in. 100%.
I'm absolutely in. Are you kidding?
Look, Cocaine Bear. Yep. There we go.
Oh my God. Oh my God, they're using the Blue Planet font.
Mhm.
That's amazing. You see that right, Rox?
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. That's what this is.
No.
That's the same style completely.
Yes.
Oh, there's the cocaine.
Oh yeah.
It's an avalanche.
Of bears.
Oh my God. That's
Narrated
already great.
That's not the right. Not the right.
That's the correct one.
Oh my God.
Directed
What's
by
like somebody now that
Florida 4 days ago.
Cocaine
You're
Bear is on the
welcome.
way. Cocaine Bear, written by Jimmy Warden, is Bank's third film, whose first being Pitch Perfect 2 and Charlie's Angels reboot in 2009. The cocaine has consumed an
What the
astonishing
fuck?
amount of cocaine.
what
from
is
Mount Scope.
happening?
I don't know.
What is this?
Stop it.
It's the opening for Circus of the Stars. That's what that is.
The Battle of the Network Stars.
They need to bring
Oh
back
my God.
the chrome typeface.
Elizabeth
now.
Banks is
Bring
directing
back
it, though.
that, Everybody.
What? She is. Are you kidding?
Yes.
So are
And
is there
Ray
singing?
Liotta was in it. Oh, great. Ice
So-
Cube Jr.
Oh my God.
Ice Cube Jr.
Yes.
Isaiah Whitlock Jr. Oh my God.
Yeah, apparently
Aldrin
there's a lot of
Heinrich?
people. Carrie Russell, Christopher Havju.
Bless you.
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry for fucking
It's
up.
being released by Universal in February.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yep.
But apparently it's set in Georgia.
Yes. Okay.
Of course it is.
We've got to ask our special friend, film friend, if they can go work on that. That'd be.
Well, it was
it's
shot
Walking
in
Tall
Ireland.
3.
Huh?
It was shot in Ireland.
Oh. Never mind.
Nothing makes sense.
Shot in Ireland. Okay, wait, hold on.
Wait a
It's
second.
set in
Ireland
Atlanta,
looks like Georgia.
where
Draw a
everyone
map.
films to begin with,
Are you?
but they
what?
shot in Ireland.
Wait,
Well,
hang on.
We'll have to ask, but I'm pretty sure it looks like College Park. Why not?
Two of the producers were Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who did Spider-Verse. What the fuck is happening?
Cocaine Bear.
This is made
Well,
up.
I mean, they've also done Lego movies and everything. I mean, they've got that sense of humor.
Did this show a can?
Yeah.
So the pitch meeting
Just saying.
was Bear on cocaine.
Bear. Yes.
But it really happened.
Is the bear a metaphor for Harvey Weinstein?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I think that
Okay,
could
so
happen.
the real story behind it is apparently a convicted drug smuggler died while parachuting from a plane carrying an extremely heavy load of drugs. The bear happened upon the 40 containers of cocaine and died in an overdose.
So in this version, it just goes on a rampage.
Well, you know.
You know what I really
This is-
respect? That you're sitting there on your couch the whole evening, just relaxing, but suddenly you're like, cocaine bear, discuss.
Yes. That's
But
it.
this is
And
like
that's the
the
good thing about
this is the
couch
Grizzly Man sequel I was not expecting.
Well, you know, Grizzly
It's a very
Adams.
special episode of Grizzly Adams, Wedge.
What in the what? I don't. Oh God.
It's slow
help us
motion
all.
running away from the bear.
I don't understand anything
It's
anymore.
Baywatch. It's Baywatch.
Baywatch with cocaine bears.
Baywatch with cocaine bears. No, that's Baywatch Nights. Sorry. Spoilers for Baywatch
Oh god,
Nights.
Baywatch Nights. Ah.
It's actually sounding like something John Waters would write. It's like, why not? Cocaine bears.
But what is the
No,
motivation of the
cocaine-
bear? Cocaine.
Hang on.
Sci-fi original.
Cocaine Bear
I mean,
is the
it
first
sounds
film.
better than cocaine raccoons.
Oh,
It's
hang
like-
on.
I'm
Cocaine
telling you,
Bear.
Meth Armadillo is going to be a hit.
Well, no, it's going to be like the sci-fi original. So you're going to have
Mhm.
Cocaine Bear versus Meth Armadillo.
Exactly.
Going to have Cough Syrup Badger versus. I'm trying to think. What else?
LSD lizard.
There you go.
Ecstasy
Get this
eagle.
man a desk.
Percocet piranhas.
Oh, now you're
I don't
talking.
think that'll work.
No, but
Pretty sure
seriously,
they're just
anything
going
Cocaine
to.
Bear is the first
Look,
film.
all
Pretty sure
right.
they're just going to end up floating around.
The
All
second
right,
film is
here
called
we
Cocaine
are.
Bears, and that's the one Jim Cameron's going to do.
Now,
I
is,
wanna
this-
see-
is it
okay.
Cocaine Bears
No, it's just called.
or
It's just called Bears, right?
Cocaine
I want to
Bears?
see.
Better yet, the
Right? How are you
cocaine
spelling it, Widge?
bears
There are two different
stain
spellings
bears.
of Cocaine Bears.
Or
One doesn't
Bears.
exist.
or
Or
cocaine
can someone else
sugar
talk
bear.
too?
It's like the Bernstein Bears, or the Bernstein
Bernstein
Bears,
Bears.
or the Bernstein
Yeah.
Bears.
I want cocoa sugar bear.
Well, that'll cost you extra, Rob. That'll cost
Yeah, I
you
know.
extra. I told you that. It was Pride
Talk
Weekend
to
in
that
Atlanta.
girl
All you
about
had
it.
to do was ask.
No, you know the bear from the fucking cereal, the kid cereal, right? The sugar bear.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's Sugar Bear.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
Sugar
Or the
Bear.
charming bear.
He sells Coke on the side.
Yeah. So growing up, really quick, because we're all old. Really quick.
Sure.
Because I always thought this was weird.
You
So,
figured that out
you
from the
know how
references. Good for you.
Heroin was called smack. Did anyone growing up going like, who's shooting up cereal?
No, but Rox, there was a guy at one of
No,
my
because that
panels.
seemed reasonable.
Thanks.
Speaking
I thought it
speaking
was
of
a
cereal.
reasonable thing to think about.
Speaking of cereal, there was a guy at one of my panels who was not cosplaying, who did actually look like Frankenberry.
Well,
Like she really
Okay.
looked like Frankenberry.
He really looked like Frankenberry, and it was not cosplay.
oh,
Oh wow, that's unfortunate.
yeah. But anyway.
Was he dying? Was he dead? Was
No.
this murder panel?
No,
What was his favorite murder?
I'm not allowed to do
What's
murder
your
panel.
favorite murder panel?
Oh my god.
Today on Dragon Con TV, Gil Gerard in murder panel.
Audience participation is forbidden.
And then on the Brit Track panel, how many murders are there fully on a Midsummer Murder season? Just got
Oof.
Whoever guesses closest wins.
yes.
2, because it's the only ones you actually watched. 2.
I watched them. I know Cosette watched
One of them is Orlando.
Yeah.
One of them is
Cosette
Orlando
actually
Bloom,
did her-
because that's the one everybody knows.
Top 10 favorite murders on Midsummer Murders. So
Ooh, the archery one and the death by tank.
and
Actually,
the catapulting wine bottles one.
That's right. Yes.
Yep.
Because the wife tells the person how to aim.
Yes. Toughly's got it. Toughly's got it.
Because they tie the wife to a chair, and originally she's like, I don't want to do this. And then suddenly she's like, no. If you're actually going to do this, just aim over a little bit to your left.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
That's the
so
good
who
stuff.
will be in the remake for Murder She Wrote, Rob?
I already came up with a brilliant idea for this.
All right.
Did you write it down?
Yes, I did. I actually posted it.
I would say
Because these two had a lot of episodes.
I would say because everybody is woke now, it would be Marla Gibbs.
Huh.
Is she?
I think she's alive still. So yes.
Murder She Wrote. Well, she's dead.
not-
So what are we going to do?
If not, I want Janelle Monáe in Murder She Wrote.
So,
'Cause
Widge,
that-
what's your idea?
Well, my idea was there was a different. They were talking about a different Murder She Wrote reboot with a completely different actress. It was going to be much younger, and they were talking about
Wasn't
The
it
Rock
the lady that
rebooting
was in
something.
Community?
What's that?
Wasn't it the lady that was in Community?
It might have
Is that
been.
her? Yeah.
And they were talking about The Rock doing a show as well. And I said, no, what you need to do is you need to have Murder, She Wrote, and it's basically it's still Angela Lansbury because she's still around, but it's like what is it, Nero Wolfe, where basically she never goes out, and The Rock is her like nephew, and The Rock goes out and like deals with the murders and like does the legwork for her. What is the
So
whiskey?
That's
is
my
he
bird,
her
which I'm
ghost
trying to
writer
go
then?
cover. I'll be
Or
right
does
no,
she
just
actually
her nephew.
write?
No, just she writes, and The Rock would go out and solve crimes with help from her because it's like again Nero Wolfe.
Right. But
So
I don't
Marla Gibbs
know.
is still alive. She's 91.
So it's
I think she's
essentially
held hostage by The Rock and like a misery situation.
Oh,
and
good
She
God!
was by
she's
The
like,
Rock
no,
in a
no,
cocaine bear.
no. What are you doing? And he'll tell, well, I think it's so and so. No, it's not that. And then he makes her right, and then he like corrects it.
that's misery.
There's yes,
But essentially, she's Oracle,
yeah,
and then The Rock is Batman.
yeah. There you go. Yeah, so, there you go.
So Mad Men dropped off. He declared Marla was 91 and then left.
I guess. Wow.
I think he's covering his bird.
And that's not a
Oh,
euphemism.
and-
Not a euphemism.
And unless I am not mistaken, that's a sexual reference?
Hey, there we go.
Yes.
Kicking
That,
it old
that
school.
was from episode
102.
150.
Dude, that's at least from 2014, but way before that.
Probably
No,
2013 or 12.
No, I think it's 2009.
So in episode 41, you guys were talking about Doctor Who, and
So
Name
you
that
remember
tune.
what you said? You remember what you said, didn't you?
Name that tune.
No, it's like my favorite thing is somebody will be like, "Hey, did you get that thing I sent you?" Which
Sorry.
thing?
Absolutely, yes. So,
Who are you again?
What?
So
Why
is
are
there,
you here?
Is there a backlash on the guy who's going
when
to?
did the restraining order wear off? Who are you
Yeah,
again?
yeah, seriously.
So where are you guys? So Tuffley and Rob were and Dom, where are you on Davies coming back for Doctor Who?
Oh.
Let's see
Yeah,
what
I'd
he'll
like
do.
to, let's throw something.
I'm not against it.
fan.
I'm a big Doctor Who fan, so.
Yes, John, we know you are.
Who's Davies?
You are a fan going back to before he was called Doctor Who. It was just
I knew him when he was Intern Who.
To be fair,
Yeah.
he is a good, close personal friend of Sylvester McCoy.
Yeah.
Russell Davies? Yeah. Okay. Or
So,
John. John was.
I didn't love him the first time, but I think he's gotten better as a storyteller. And, it's like the Chibnall thing was such a fucking mess that at this point, a trained SEAL could probably write a better script.
We tried that.
Yeah.
No, they did try that in the 80s. That's how
Yeah.
the Colin Baker era worked out.
I'm afraid he's going to do all these like just super fanboy things, and it'll be cool, but then it'll make no sense. But the fact that he cast a black gay doctor is like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna like watching all these people fucking freak out. That makes up. I mean, just watching.
He thought they were mad last season.
Yeah, and it's like, I'll show you mad.
Yeah, Doctor Who is a man again. Happy now?
Yes, that was basically the answer. I was like, yeah, we made him a guy again. Sure, yeah.
Surprise!
Okay.
I think he's gonna be great though.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be great. I think that.
And I think that
I say kid because we're all older than him, so I think that kid's gonna be great.
He's got a lot more money to play in that sandbox, so it might be interesting to see what he does.
And it's not, and because they're not spending the BBC's money, they can kind of go further out. Although, I do question, depending on whatever deal they may or may not have made for the streaming rights for the show. I don't know how they're making money from it, but okay.
They get more from the worldwide distribution.
Well, I mean, and that was the question that somebody asked one of the or I asked at one of the Badman panels was, how are they making money? How if let's say Disney backs up the money truck, and Bad Wolf's supposed to get points off distribution, like how does that happen if Disney Plus has all the distribution?
Because
wait a sec, Disney Plus gets the international distribution for it?
They might, yeah.
That was the rumor. That was what Bloomberg was reporting was what was up for grabs. But I don't think that was just for Doctor
Who. Yeah, I think
I think that was the nature films and Top Gear.
I think they'll get points on the merchandising, but it's also a worldwide market, so there's probably some sort of a deal in place where like you get a certain amount of money up front, or we get revenue for the access to show it.
Yeah.
If we allow it to be shown,
I can't imagine that they'd give the house away on that.
They're not. And RTD is not stupid. He's very very well versed in streaming media, so they'll make their money on it if they pull it from everything but streaming. Which I think they're going to do.
So basically, the thing that's predicating this is because of the Flaming Zeppelin of HBO Max. That some of the third party content deals are getting dumped with extreme prejudice, and that the commitments with the BBC, including the ones they had made for Doctor Who previously, are on that list of things that are being dumped at tremendous speed. And there was a Bloomberg story right before Dragon Con that was talking about the possibility of Disney being in the discussions, and the headline was Doctor Who, but it was for more than Doctor Who. It was library stuff for Hulu, and the nature films for the National Geographic end of Disney Plus, and Top Gear maybe for ESPN Plus, which is a big get for ESPN Plus. So, but that has been speculated, but I haven't heard anything else about that.
Well, at the very least, it will raise the price for whoever gets it.
And there's going to be spin-off. I get the impression there's going to be spin-off shows.
Well, that's almost a given.
There's almost one. There's one that's I think greenlit that's just not announced yet, and I think that they'll do more. So
yeah. So it'll be interesting. And also,
is Barrowman like dropping by RTD's house all the time? Like, here,
I have cake.
Give us torch.
I'm sure Barrowman never left.
We'll be better. We'll be better.
Wow.
Torchwood is a third of Torchwood's a Chibnall property. So no.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
And
he's back.
Yeah.
Or is he?
Yeah.
It's just gonna be class 2.
I mean, I just think we can't really judge anything till we see.
I'm glad you did that.
The mess, the mess that Jodie Whittaker leaving.
Jodie Foster.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of a panic room that I'm going to go
next
in.
on Doctor Who. Jodie Foster takes over.
When I watch the special, I'm going to have a panic room.
So Tuffley, here's a question.
Yeah.
Is Warner Brothers Discovery Plus, whatever it is, going to be able to pull out of its nosedive or what?
So the thing with HBO Max, I think somebody at Discovery on an earnings call had mentioned this. The main thing that concerns them is they want to separate what people think HBO Max is from actual HBO, because they are two separate things. And the thing they're concerned about the most is that whatever happens to HBO Max, its perception as a kind of a flaming mess needs to be separated from the prestige perception of what HBO is.
Too late.
Yeah. I mean, obviously what I think they're going to do is they're going to probably call it something else and bring back HBO Go as the catch-up streaming service for HBO. Because the thing is, if you want, there are a lot of people who are not paying for HBO Max now, that have it as part of AT&T subscriptions, as part of, whatever remnant AT&T subscriptions you
Or
have,
you know
Friends.
somebody.
or you know
Yeah.
somebody. But
Allegedly.
the value proposition is, though, if you're going to pay for HBO Max, get HBO. Because HBO Max comes with an HBO subscription, but HBO Max doesn't come with HBO. The linear channels.
Right.
Okay.
So, right now, if you were going to pay for it, if you were having to pay for HBO Max, you'd just get HBO because you'd get Max for free.
So, but all right. So, other than the delay on shows, what do you get with HBO? I mean, ever since
Well, what you
Max and Go came out, it's just like I don't need to watch it that night.
Well, what you get with the HBO, what you get linear HBO, you get the movies, you get all the movie, you get all those movie channels, you get, and you also get HBO Max. With Max, you just get stuff 12 hours later, and
So, what are the linear channels for HBO? Do you get Epic
the
and all
East,
that?
you get the East
Oh.
feed, you get the West feed, you get the children's channel, you
comedy,
get
something.
the comedy channel.
Well,
they have
basic-
different.
Comedy East
You
West.
get HBO and all its variations.
Okay, so
You get the linear
basically,
channels and all the variations.
okay, I have yet to
If you subscribe to it, you'd get the same thing as you would if you subscribe to it from a satellite service or cable.
Okay. So when you click on it, it's going. Oh,
yeah,
here's
when
this
you click
movie
on
in
it, it's going,
midstream.
and then you can
Okay.
choose which feed you want.
Yeah.
Oh,
opposed
you mean
to-
so
Yeah.
HBO is like how people used to watch television
Yeah.
like 15 years ago that
Yeah.
no one really wants to do anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, just
So you
checking.
can do that. Well, I
It's
think
hilarious
here's the thing.
because
You
if you
say
go to
that.
HBO.com, first of all, if you search on HBO, what do you get? You get an ad for HBO Max. If
Yes.
you go to HBO.com, what do you see at the top of the page? Get HBO Max.
Yeah.
It says save over 40% on HBO Max. It's like,
There's a reason they're doing that. Keep
yeah,
going.
I did not know there was still an HBO, honestly, and neither does. I think that's a surprise to most people.
I mean, you say that, but here's the thing. I mean, we replaced the network model, which we also determined at Bad Men. We replaced the network model with the network model because you look at stuff for like the streaming channels now. You talk about Star Trek shows are now on a certain day. Paramount Plus debuts Star Trek shows, when they're running on a certain day.
Yep. They're all doing that. Like,
but then
new
you can watch
episodes
them
on Fridays.
whenever you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
But
yeah,
and this is the thing Neil was talking about with Netflix. They are looking at people who they are prioritizing who's watching it
on
in
that
the first
time.
12 hours of
Yep.
release.
Yep.
Who's watching it in the first month of release.
Yep, you're correct.
So even though you're saying, okay, you can watch it anytime you want, what they're watching for and what they're renewing on is, okay, who's hitting that in the first day? Who's
And
hitting that in the first week? Who's hitting that in the first month?
Also, if a show drops, if they have that model like on Hulu, if they drop 2 episodes, like the first and the second, who binges? So then they know that they'll hook them.
Yeah.
Of train to watch Handmaid's Tale on Wednesday. HBO Max does that too with.
I mean, they're doing that with House of Dragons. They do it linearly. Linearly, they're doing it on Sundays, and then online they're doing it on Mondays.
That. Apple did that with the Severance and a number of their shows. So so they are dragging that back, and they did that with Sprung too.
Yeah, I mean they're basically replacing the network model with the network model. Ads are coming to all of these streaming services too. Like you're going to have a lower cost tier with ads.
Yeah.
So they're bringing ads back. They're bringing, it's old TV, just with the old TV still
the middleman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's old TV without local news. Also interesting that NBC is thinking about giving the 10 o'clock hour back to the affiliates.
Huh. Wow.
That is something apparently they're considering. And I believe, yeah. So there was.
So this is interesting. So since we circling back, since we
Yeah.
are in Zoom mode, since the soap operas that are moving to streaming,
Yeah.
okay, so will that be turned over to new programming or affiliates? Because
My guess would be anytime they've given time back to the affiliates, they do local news, which is the thing that makes them more money than anything else.
Right.
Because you could have the idea about syndication, and that could open a door for syndication. But like most local markets, if you give them the opportunity, are just going to stick another hour of news in.
So does anybody know what? So like the streaming services of live TV, like Pluto TV and Freevee. I mean, what is their model? And how are they doing? Does anyone know that?
I think it's mostly
they're
ads.
advertising based.
It's a step
It's
one
ads
and
and
three
data collection.
process.
Yeah.
What?
It's a step 1 and 3 process. Come up with an idea, make money. Something in between, we're not exactly sure what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, here's
but
the
if we
thing,
get enough
and-
people to invest, then we can just not produce anything and still make.
But I
tons
mean,
of money,
here's the thing
they're
we
running
learned in
ads on everything.
Yeah.
Well, I know that, but
here's the
can't be
thing we
clearing their
learned in
money,
300 episodes: nobody makes any money off the internet. So
I don't. So my boyfriend, he now has like ad-free YouTube and loves it. So when he's over here and we're like watching, and he's like, "You have commercials." I'm like, "Well, yeah, yeah."
I have to admit that I can't stand like ad-free YouTube. I need like Manscaped commercials.
Here's the thing, though.
I need that in my life, and I have to have it. And I feel like if I have to not pay for it, it's
I wound up getting a commercial one time. I'm not going to tell you what I was watching, but all of a sudden I got a commercial for like a Geiger counter.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, sure. Who else?
Yeah, of course you did.
The algorithm found the one person.
It did, and it said, "Here you go." And then there was a Prada commercial after that. It's just like they're like, "We do not know about this person.
We know you. We know you. We've seen what you search for."
Prada, really? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know what they
But
say?
a Geiger
Tom Red
counter.
wears Prada.
That was great.
For a second, I thought you had said Pravda, and I thought, well, that's really
Pravda.
weird.
No, that would be.
That's a whole different thing. Which,
That's a different.
I know.
That falls under state secret.
Speaking of murder,
So, hey, are we gonna do introductions and then I?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can.
Okay.
All right. So let me make a note of when we're doing it here. Hang on a second. Girl from Ipanema. Okay.
Notes are being made. Notes.
Yep.
Notes.
All right. So for this special, the very special episode, like the one where Nancy Reagan was on Different Strokes.
Wait, what?
Weekend
Don't
Justice.
do drugs, kids. Just say no.
Well,
We will do
apparently Nancy
introductions.
was on a whole bunch of different strokes back in the day, according to the
Oh,
internet.
hello. Oh, hey. And we will do them starting now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Weekend Justice. It's the Weekend Justice League, Weekend Justice podcast here with the Weekend Justice League in the Hall of Weekend Justice. And I will endeavor to introduce the mass hysterical people that we have here, going from my right to your left. We have Roxy Spadshouse with us. Hello, Rox.
This show is just so fabulous. Tune
Yes,
in
it
next
is.
week when Brian Setzer knocks on Rox's Spaz House's door and says, "Where's the backhoe?"
We also have Tuffley with us. Hi, Tuffley.
I have no idea where the backhoe is.
Well, Rob is with us as well. Hi, Rob.
Sup?
Has to get into character.
We also have Dom. Hi, Dom.
Hello, it's 4:30 a.m. in Germany, and I'm widely awake.
Widely or barely?
Both.
Yes. We also have Madman with us. What's going on?
So if there's a back hoe, that implies that there must be a front hoe. And
Or there was
sometimes
a
a
murder.
and
in the
sometimes a side hoe.
Well, there you go.
And we also have John from the Unique Geek here. Hi, John.
There's nothing moderate about rock.
Very true. It's very true. So where were we? What were we talking about before we got interrupted for introductions?
Murder.
Backhoes.
Murder. Oh yeah, murder and backhoes.
Madman was talking about side hose.
Yeah, that's true.
We're approaching an episode title, I think.
Oh, we've got several to choose from.
No, where is the backhoe?
I make notes as we go.
Brand new for 2022. We're still not recording this.
You always choose these.
It's so very true. Oh my God. So we should probably move to recommendations since.
Did we?
Oh,
Yeah, why not?
do that.
Okay.
So who wants to go first? It's the
I'll
recommendation.
go first.
Oh my God, Rock, go!
Okay, I have. Hold on, going off screen.
Oh God.
Here we go.
Oh no, she's going off screen. What will we do?
Oh God.
As long as she's not going off script.
Hey.
Yay!
John Waters' Indecent Exposure book. So this is his book of art and stuff, and it's
Art and stuff.
signed. It's signed. So John Waters, as people know, is my nemesis. This, and
Yes.
So there was a series of art that he did where he would sit in the darkened room. Oh, I love this. So he dresses up. He's got some self-portraits, just like what was it? Who was that?
That's not self-portraits. That's Dragon Con pictures. What are you doing?
Oh, he's a town crier. So he's done everything to stab in the dark of, creating art. And one was he would sit in his living room, lights are off, and he would shoot films.
Small children.
Well, yeah, actually, children who smoke. There's an episode where he goes and looks for images on television with his camera of children who were smoking, and then just compiles it and gets an art show. Well, the weird thing is I was doing the same thing at the same time that he was doing it. So
your nemesis.
my
Were
nemesis.
they smoking cigarettes or were they on fire?
It was all over the place. But I was shooting stuff on TV, stealing copyrighted material and altering it, and I had a really good show. Like he did this one for he was stealing, like he had an image from Patton, Elmore Gantry, Gone with the Wind, stuff like that. And then he has this show. He would just blow up the images, sort of like an Andy Warhol type thing. I do have this really cool book, The Letters of John Gielgud, at the Actor. I'm really not much into reading people's autobiographies because they self-edit and stuff. But letters and stuff are interesting because they're really, I think you get a more feel of the person because they're writing to somebody else. So the cool thing about his letters, it's a thick book, is the index. So I'm watching this film. I forgot what it was. It was a Michael Caine film. He's like an ex-MI5, and John Gielgud plays a Nazi sympathizer. Anyway, he writes to somebody. John Gielgud writes on how Michael Caine shoots him in this film to somebody that he knows. So it's really, really cool when you're watching a film. I refer to this book, The Letters of John Gielgud, just to see if because he was very much aware of film, television, theater, and he commented to a lot of different actors and producers around the world. So it to me it gives a more rounded look at the life of John Gielgud in letters. So Letters of John Gielgud, if you're a fan.
Did you read the?
Plus, he's very catty too. He's like spilling dirt.
Did you read the Alec Guinness ones?
No, I didn't. I don't
Those
have
are
that one.
those are good. There's like 3 or 4 of them, but they're great.
Yeah.
But just get the first one.
Okay.
They're really great because especially when he talks. Actually, the second one is when he starts talking about how he's like talks about how his wife's bringing the mail, and he's like, I used to enjoy getting the mail, but now it's all people sending me those bloody action figures to sign and expecting me to mail them back.
Oh my God.
And he goes, Olivier never had to do this kind of. He goes on this whole thing about Olivier didn't have to ever do that. And
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, that's what I've got, and I just picked up a Helen Thomas book, Front Row at the White House. That's what I got.
Cool. Thank you, Rox.
Do it. So
All right,
in
next.
the Elizabethan era for needcoffee.com. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye,
See you next week. Blammo. That's right.
All right, who's next?
I'll go.
Go, Tom Mike.
So on behalf of Kim, who couldn't make it this evening, I would like to recommend Return to Monkey Island, because that came out yesterday, and she's quite a few hours into that already, which is a very funny game. It's a sequel to other games called Monkey Island, which are great. So with that...
with the original creator, just adding that.
Yes. With that, I will move to music stuff. Rob, prepare yourself. Danny Harrison resurrected Dark Horse Records a couple of years ago, which was primarily music his dad was putting out, and a couple of different artists. But one of the things they've actually added that wasn't originally an artist on the original Dark Horse record is they've added the catalog, the non-Clash recordings of Joe Strummer.
This is that Volume 2 thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they re-released a different version of Joe Strummer 1, which was a lot of his actual solo work. That was his credited stuff. And the 101ers, the stuff he recorded as part of the 101ers. And this one, they put out another collection which comprises the Mescaleros, the albums he did with the Mescaleros through like the 90s and up to his death, and it's really good. And so if you hadn't caught up on the Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros albums, you can pick those up. In most of that material is in this collection. I think it's a 3-disc. It's quite nice. I'll also mention the new record from Suede. It's called Autofiction. I mean, and if you're trapped in North America, it's the London. I'll just say it's the London Suede, and then you can say it's Suede.
There you go.
Okay. But that's a new record, and it's less depressing than the last two, so it's more enjoyable for me. So.
And they're touring.
Hey, yes, and I had a game. I forget what that was, so we'll just move on. I did Monkey Island already, so that counts. We'll do that. That's it. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm also saving the certain comic crossover that you're probably going to mention in a minute.
Okay.
You. Yes, you.
Oh. Well,
yes,
I wasn't gonna
Judgment
mention
Day.
that, but I guess I can mention it now. Write it down because I'll forget.
Give authority to talk about Judgment Day.
Yeah, all right. I'll talk about it. I'll write it down. All right, who's next? Okay, go, Rob.
Toughly. So
I love so much for you. Stop it.
No, I purposely tried to pick records that Toughly wouldn't pick, in case he picked mine. So
I left so much for you on the table.
That's okay. I stayed away from music this time because I've just been super busy. So first of all, without sounding more self-indulgent than normal, I want to mention the Modern Musicology podcast that I'm doing with Alan Seiler and Anthony Williams and Stephanie Seymour, former drummer of the Aquanettas. It's on all podcast forums. We just had Gina Shock on this week.
Yeah, that was great.
And we've got a couple other people lined up. And hopefully when we get to Pink Floyd, we're going to have WEJ on.
I would not say no to that.
Yeah. And when we get to the cartoon one, I might ask John to come on and talk about Gem. But seriously, yeah. Anyway, so that's on. Yeah. So that, yeah, I don't want to mention that.
If you're ever doing Rammstein, don't call me.
You're not a fan of Rammstein? You're not a fan?
No.
I'm not either. The Du Hast song kind of did it for me. It's like, that's it.
Just Falco.
Yeah, I mean, sure, Du Hast has just peaked their sound. That's it.
I mean, the problem is after Neubauten and Kraftwerk, there's really nothing else to get super excited about.
Yeah, well, okay, nice.
Well, I just mean for Americans. I'm sure there's plenty. Hey, if you know something I should be listening to, fucking tell me.
The problem is the best stuff by now in the last, I guess, 20 years uses German lyrics. So
that's okay.
Yeah.
But isn't Seed German? And Peter Fox, isn't that German?
Might be.
Wait,
but
Peter
the
Fox
thing is the stuff that does well in Germany, you guys don't like, and the stuff that's internationally successful, we don't like.
You have to understand.
We love David Hasselhoff. I don't know what you're talking about.
Widge and I get
You
excited
do?
when we find a new record by a Zambian guy found in the desert. And you're telling us that if it's a German record, we're not going to listen to it.
No.
Yeah, they're German.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, Seed's great.
No, seriously, if you
Peter
hear
Fox is
anything
good too.
cool in German,
Let me in the chat. I will type one artist which I think is right now is probably the best pop artist we have.
okay.
But her lyrics are really good, and you're not going to get them.
Well, you don't know that. I mean, we might.
Tricky.
No, not tricky. He's from Bristol.
Yep.
Does he rock rhymes? Rhymes that are right on time?
Yes.
That's tricky, right? Okay.
That's okay. There's a lot of stuff I
Anyway.
listen to that I can't understand the lyrics. to
Yeah, I mean,
anyway,
I think
so-
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
mostly because I'm
I think
old.
music
It
defies.
doesn't matter
the-
what language they're doing it in.
I mean, I think music
No.
defies. the
50-year-old
language.
white man quitting Run DMC.
Yes.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Again. So I do want to recommend the new album from Jockstrap called "I Love You, Jennifer B." They're gonna blow up. They're gonna be the next Wet Leg.
Sorry, didn't know the artist. Imagined a wet leg. Was amused.
Wait, you haven't heard Wet Leg yet?
Okay, I will Google it. It's on the list. Go on.
They're doing it. They just added.
Have you heard
Balbinia?
Balbinia?
Yeah,
I mean,
they
come
just
on.
added. They just added like 5 German dates. Yeah. So
We don't produce dates in
Wow.
this country. This is not a fruit from Germany. I'm
Right.
sorry.
They don't follow calendars.
Yeah.
What are you
so-
doing?
So anyway, they have an album out called "I Love You, Jennifer B." It's really good. It's on Rough Trade. Listen to it. Also, what he said about Suede. So there you go. Ruined that for me. Thanks. But no, that's fine.
Well, to be fair, I did say the London Suede. You said Suede. So
I still
basically
call
you
them
got credit
Suede
for it.
just because I think it's stupid to have to call it something else, right?
I know.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
I was being cute.
So I've watched it, and it's just frightening, weird, and bizarre all at once. Toughly, have you seen the Woodstock '99 documentary yet? Trainwreck,
God, which one?
the one that's on Netflix now, the new one.
Okay, I haven't seen that
The
one. I
three-part.
saw the one that Hulu, the one that was on Hulu, and I saw the one that that the Grantland people did for HBO.
Yeah, so the one you want is
But
called.
I haven't seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Trainwreck, Woodstock '99. It's 3 parts, and
Yeah.
if you really want to understand our plunge to dystopia, you might want to watch that because all these kids in the '90s and their behavior sort of, oh, this does not surprise me, but it's there. All 3 episodes are really well done and really great, and it's really, really intense and well done. Also, Moon Age Daydream, the new 2.5-hour documentary about David Bowie. It's making the rounds. It's a lot of David
And that's
Bowie.
IMAX only, right?
No, they're showing it in smaller houses. It's
Okay.
preferred to be IMAX, but they're showing it in smaller
Okay.
places. But that is the preferred mode for screening is in IMAX. But yeah, so, and then the last one's pretty common. If you haven't seen Only Murders in the Building, it's pretty great.
Yeah,
I was really surprised about Selena Gomez on that show.
I was totally surprised.
I didn't think she was going to be that good.
I was totally surprised about it, and I was surprised about about Sting.
Yeah.
And just the side characters and just the way it's really well crafted and the jokes are set up.
Wait a second, didn't one of you didn't like Martin Short? I remember that right.
I am not a fan of Martin
That would
Short,
be me as well.
but he's terrific in this.
Yeah, and there is a supercut that I recently saw of him dissing Conan O'Brien on his show, which was really good. He's just doing the same jokes over and over again, and that's really good because you can see Conan just waiting for it and enjoying it. That's really good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, try to find that YouTube video. I don't know how.
Whoa. And then there is a new. It's streaming only, but there is a new EP from Interpol called the Black EP. It's like demos and a couple live tracks. That's really good. They're on tour now, and their show in Atlanta was pretty great. They didn't use any lights, which was even better, and they made people mask. So they're friends of mine.
Dark, masked, just music, just stay home.
I also love the fact that they kept the back of the hall. They kept the doors open, which is like, okay, we've kind of put some thought about this. So
There's no air conditioning.
No, they want
That sounds
circulating
hot.
air. Circulating
That sounds
air.
hot.
Yeah. See, Damien, you want circulating air. That's the thing.
That sounds hot.
He's a little more north of us, though.
No, Rob, he's saying it sounds hot because it turns him on.
No.
It's
I'm
open
not
back
kink
door.
shaming.
That's hot. Okay.
I'm not kink shaming.
it's just,
Could you say that slower, sir?
I am thinking of Atlanta in the summertime. It's humid and it's hot, and people have
What do you
doors
mean in the
open.
summertime? It's fucking 90 today. What are you talking about?
It's 97
And
today.
it was humid.
Yeah.
It had gotten cool. Now it's humid again.
It had a cool 2 minutes, and then it's 90 again.
We get
What the
roughly
hell?
about 3 total days. That's added up, like 72 hours of actual fall weather, and then it just becomes cold and rainy, or it's hot and humid. So
Yeah.
Do you
Don't
guys have a
worry.
proper winter though?
The fall is coming.
We do here, but not there.
I mean,
Okay.
define proper.
I mean, Chattanooga gets all our snow, so it's fine.
The problem is I don't want to do the calculation of the Fahrenheit to Celsius. That's why I'm not asking.
I know math. I'm just telling you, there's not supposed to be any math.
We shouldn't be trying math again. That's
Yeah.
I know.
So where most of us live on the podcast, no, we don't get things like snow on a regular basis during winter.
But when we do,
there's
we
2
do.
inches of ice on the ground, man. It's
Right.
all chaos. It's
And we
all
get- Of
course it is.
chaos.
And unfortunately, that black ice is a problem.
the 2 snow plows that we have in the entire state of Georgia are just up all night trying to get out of the
Combat that
sheds
black
that they
ice.
left in.
Wait,
I mean, the
this
two
is not salt.
snowplows
This
we
is
have-
sugar. I thought that didn't matter.
You
Just
should
salt.
put, you guys should put chains on your tires then.
The 2 snow plows in the state of Georgia are being used in 3 Walking Dead TV shows, so they're not even for use. They're not even for use by the state.
No, I thought
It's just-
they were used to transport the missing ballots, but okay.
Oh God!
Don't worry, when Herschel gets elected, all of that.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
oh God! Oh.
No, no, don't even speak that into. Oh God!
wow, that just looked like you hit them with something.
I know it's horrible. It's horrible.
He did.
And with that, my battery's at 4%, so I will go with my
Ah.
recommendation this week.
Go!
Just,
So you know how
like
you-
Herschel.
Yeah, you're right. Then let me hurry up before I forget or tell you the wrong information or lie.
Or
but you
move
know how
to
you-
Georgia.
or jump over fences to see other bulls or something. I don't know.
Well, I might hold a gun to my wife's head, I guess.
Mm.
Whew. CTE.
That's a Herschel reference, Tom. It's okay.
Yeah, that's not a.
Just checking.
But anyway.
I don't know how far and wide the stupidity gets. I don't know.
Very, very far, very wide.
But you know how you get those random internet ads on Instagram, Facebook, and everywhere else. And there was a shirt company called Results. It's spelled, let me just throw it in the chat, RVSLTS, right? And I kept seeing it, and they have specialty Batman shirts, which obviously caught my eye. And I'm like, I like those, but I wonder if they're any good. And I keep and they keep coming out with more and more nerd themed shirts. And so I ordered one and got to actually wear it and test it out during Dragon Con. It's kind of a button up, but with a stretch material that fits really, really well. And I got to hand it to them. Results did a really, really good job with the shirt, right? They're actually pretty amazing. I'm looking to get a couple of more, depending on what else comes out. But for anyone that ever sees those ads and goes, "Ooh, I wonder if they're as nice as they seem," they were really, really good. It was a very, very comfortable shirt. I wore it at Dragon Con, which is obviously hot and humid and a lot of walking. And it was really, really stylish, but it was really, really comfortable. So I've got to give them a shameless plug and a thumbs up. And I'm also going to plug a very older movie from last year that I had the pleasure of doing. This year was the 30th anniversary of Candyman, the original. And I got to moderate that panel at Dragon Con.
Nice. Yes, I saw that.
Right, where we went through the original, the two that came in the middle, and the current one, which was kind of produced by Jordan Peele and directed by Nia DaCosta. And I gotta say, really good film. Really good film. Very
amazing musical score.
Very much the successor to the first Candyman. With a lot of other stuff you don't typically get in horror movies. And that's one of the things I talked about on the panel where, with Jason, you got X motivation, but it's really just a slasher film, right?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Are we losing him?
That 4% is no more.
It says audio only.
No.
I think,
I
he
think
gone?
He's gone. I think we lost him.
Oh, God.
Man. Come back. Please.
But Candyman 2021, is that when it came out? Or is it 2022?
Yeah, I think that's right. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, and Nia DaCosta's next film is The Marvels. So,
yeah,
there you go. All right, Dom, that brings us to you.
I will start with the recent, the newest Stephen King book, Fairy Tale. I'm listening to the audiobook. It's, as always, a very high production value with those things because, well, with King they don't.
The reader.
I knew you were going to ask. That's why I looked it up. Seth Numrich, I think it's pronounced. He's doing a great job. And the thing is, first of all, it's littered with references. Some very obvious, some very subtle. And I think he even sneaked a reference to, what's it called? Lost Boys.
Polygrip? Oh.
No, Lost Boys in it. Where he just referenced to his state and said, well, the vampires is nothing that you have to fear in this state. And I thought, well, that sounds like the ending to Lost Boys, just in reverse. But that was maybe me overthinking it, which it quite often is. But then he has a character in there, an older man who has been, the reader does his voice. And then at a later point, you hear his voice coming through a recorder, and then it's King doing that. And that's interesting because they both have to sort of align so that it becomes not the same performance, but you can recognize it. Oh, okay, this is pretty much the same way they're speaking, but obviously it's a different voice, different person speaking. So that was interesting. And I think the whole dialogue King does, or monologue, that's him riffing on Lovecraft, because that's the worst dialogue he's ever written, I think. It's at 2 points you think, well, nobody speaks like this. And then you think about what Lovecraft wrote as dialogue, which nobody ever spoke like that. It's great fun. He has a thing right now, ever since Billy Summers, which I think was the book before, where he toys a little bit with structure, because Billy Summers was like, oh, this book is over. No, there are about 300 pages left. And then it just becomes a completely different story. And here you get to know the main character so well before the plot, so to speak, starts. He's really toying around with stuff, but I'm not through yet. I cannot give a final verdict, but as usually, it's very enjoyable. So I'll give it a try. Then, which are you at liberty to say what you're going to do with the paint I sent you?
No, not yet.
Okay, good. But we can share what paint I sent you.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Because I find it very interesting. You, of course, as a lover of the color black, have been sharing, what was it, Vanta Black, which an artist called, let me see, Anish Kapoor designed, the blackest black in the world. But he copyrighted it so that nobody could use it. And on culturehustle.com, you can order Black 3.0, which is even blacker. And the only person in the world who cannot buy it, well, is Anish Kapoor.
Yeah.
Because the artist who created it said, well, I don't like that he just took the tools from
Copyrighted
the rest
color.
of us. Yeah, and I don't like this. So let's design a blacker black, and the only person who cannot use it is him. And that I really like. So on culturehustle.com, I don't get any money from this. You can order several colors. I ordered the Black 3.0 for Witch and myself. I will probably also go there and buy the black ink they have for my fountain pen as soon as it's back in stock. And they have a very bright glows in the dark color, which I'm not quite sure what to do with yet, but I bought anyway. It's really, really bright. I might just use it for, I don't know. I like to work in the dark, so maybe I will just put some markings somewhere so I don't bump my head. I don't know. I had something else, but I forgot what it was.
It was a memory enhancing
Sleep.
drug.
Sleep is good.
Sleep is very good, especially at
How was
5
the
a.m.
cake? How was the
The
cake?
cake was okay. It was the first red velvet cake we ever made. And
It
red
was so
velvet
spongy.
cake. Yeah, it was. Essentially,
it
red
claggy?
velvet cake just tastes like cake. It doesn't have any other, it's not cherries, it's not chocolate.
Okay.
It's just cake.
I don't know why I like it.
Your
It
first
makes no
experience with that sort of cake.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Was it because it was
Needlessly
featured in the
colored
first
cake.
episode of the new series of
Of a
Great
famous British baking show. Yes, it was,
Yes.
of course.
Yes.
That's where the inspiration came from. My wife just had to try it, and we're going to watch every episode again this year, and maybe
Good.
we'll just bake along to it. Let's see.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I would just add that really, if you've never seen Timeless, show by Eric Kripke, that only lasted 2 seasons, give it a try. It's very interesting. It's fun. But at 1 or 2 points, you think, well, the concept just doesn't work. But if you ask that question with too many shows, you're not going to watch much TV.
And in America, we have to watch lots of TV because we have
Is
lots
that-
of TVs to watch.
Is that in the Constitution?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Have you read it?
I'm an
What, the
American.
bit
What
about
do you
the
think?
television?
No, I haven't read the Constitution. Of course, I've not read the Constitution.
He's waiting for the Amazon
waiting.
TV.
I love
Waiting for
playing.
the Amazon TV, Amazon Prime TV adaptation.
I just
the
love playing the
Constitution.
straight man sometimes. It's really fun.
All right, so Dom. Is that,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. John, what have you got for us?
I'm going to just recommend one thing, which is my typical modus operandi. Anyway, I'm going to recommend Welcome to Wrexham. It's on Hulu, at least here in the United States. It's about the Wrexham AFC Football Club. Well, I guess it's AFC. What is the football club? FC means football club. Anyway, but the in Wales, and Rob
It's soccer.
McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds started to try to buy them in 2020. Did eventually purchase the club, and it's a series about these two people that have no idea about football, but do want to at least genuinely seem to be wanting to make the club better and make the community better and everything else, and how you kind of do that. If you, I'm a big fan of Sunderland Till I Die, which was on I saw it on Netflix, and it was 2 or 3 seasons, I forget, but which was really good. Similar thing, except it only kind of focused right on the club, but the idea here is it's sort of a documentary series and seeing how they improve the club and what they're doing, but also along the way it's been Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. That was a hard time saying his last name. They appear in it almost every single episode for at least a few minutes, but often it's just more about the community and the troubles they're going through to raise the club back up from it's the third oldest professional football team in the world, but it's also in the last tier of English football.
Yeah, it's been relegated a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they used to be further up. I don't think they ever got to premiere, but they tumbled, along with kind of how they tie it together in documentary, along with how the town basically fell apart. As the town fell apart, so did the team, and so did, and so it's sort of this underdog story of them trying to rise back up, along with the charmingness of Ryan Reynolds and Rob together, doing this and having no clue of what they're doing. And they freely admit that, and that's why they hire professionals, real football people to actually run the operations, but they're running the documentary, obviously. And it's just fun. It's just a fun show. And the last one that I just watched was, it actually had nothing to do with the football club, really. It was just about, where is Wales? And gave the history of Wales and what Wales, the whole 9 yards. Cause, it was just some, interesting, fun things that they were doing. They were talking about Wales. And so it's an interesting, story and in some ways educational, but not beat you over the head educational. It's light education, but it is just it's just a really well done. And with those two guys on the show, it's very charming, and they have, other folks that are, characters are sort of coming out of that are actually, real people that have their lives have revolved around this. And it's also, by the way, the oldest stadium, football stadium in the world is there. That's the racetrack that they have there. So they got a lot of history here that just has kind of fallen apart, and they're just sort of trying to rebuild it back from the ground up, and hemorrhaging money left and right as they do so. So anyway, welcome to Wrexham on Hulu or FX if you happen to still have cable.
Cool.
That is all.
Right.
You can probably buy it on Amazon at some point,
but
I have no idea what the URL would be.
Well, I don't know what the URL would be either, John, but I do know that if you go to needcoffee.com/Amazon, you will wind up on the front page of Amazon, just like you've gone there because you have. It's one of those weird paradoxical
Lies.
things.
Damn.
Yeah.
Magic.
Damn.
Yep.
Ugly lies.
Sorcerer.
Magic. And anything you purchase while you're there in that session, we get kickbacks for, and we do appreciate it. So my recommendations, real quick. Since Madman brought up Candyman, I mentioned the musical score by, I'm probably going to screw up his name, Robert A.T. Aubrey Lowe. Made the short list for the Academy Award Best Original Score, was not nominated, and that is why there is no God, because it is a fantastic album, and I highly appreciate it, highly recommend it, and appreciate it. So on the topic of music that I have no idea what they're saying, but I like it anyway. I recommend a compilation called African Scream Contest,
Yes.
which is music from Benin and Togo. It's fantastic. It's like psychedelic rock stuff from the 70s out of Africa, and it is brilliant.
You posted this the other day, right? This is the thing you
I've posted something from it before, actually.
I miss
Yeah.
the rains out there in Africa.
And Analog Africa is the place to put stuff like that out.
Yeah,
they're
Stop it!
they're
Stop
crazy.
it! Stop it!
It's on SoundCloud. You can find their stuff, and I love it. So because Tuffley reminded me, I will also mention there is a Marvel crossover that's happening that actually does not suck. Kieran Gillen is the mastermind behind Judgment Day. It's called Axe Judgment Day because it's Avengers, X-Men, Eternals. And it's
I thought you were gonna say it was Axe body spray crossover.
No, it's Avengers.
That's
X-Men,
a completely different Africa.
Eternals.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm not sure where it's going, but I am enjoying it, and it's different from a lot of, as we've discussed before, I'm sure, a lot of the crossovers that happen in DC and Marvel. A lot of them have like the pink cloud effect, which is where you had Crisis on Infinite Earths. So the crisis continues in this issue, and the only thing was that there were pink clouds in the sky because that's what was happening because of Crisis. So a lot of stuff is like that. But this is not like that. It is just, I don't know, it's insane. The Eternals go to war with mutants, and the Avengers are caught in the middle, and there's Celestials, and it's just crazy shit. So
Drig's a bit of a dick.
What's that?
Drig's a bit of a dick.
Yeah, I'd forgotten because he's less of a dick in the movie, and so I'd forgotten that in the comic.
He's quite a bit of a dick.
He's
a very well written kind of a dick, but yes.
Yes, he is very well written.
So sinister. I love his
not
sinister.
know that. The various Sinisters are good, but I also did not know that. What is it? Thanos' grandfather, Uranos or whatever his name is.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know he was a thing. He's bad. So I recommend it. It's a lot of fun thus far. Could all go to shit, who knows? But so far it's fun. About halfway through. And lastly, I don't know that it's needed in 4K, but they came out with it in 4K, so I'll talk about it again. Event Horizon came out last month, and I know they're making it into a television series or something, but the movie is still quite good, despite the fact that they completely lobotomized the script and turned it into basically Hellraiser in space. It's a very good Hellraiser in space. But I do recommend that you buy it in some form or fashion, and then I'm sure you could probably find it through Google. Go somewhere and find the original screenplay and read what was supposed to happen, which is even more fucked up than what was in the movie. So highly recommended. I love that screenplay. So that's it. Those are all my recommendations. Those are all our recommendations. And that brings us to the end of another episode of Weekend Justice, the 300th episode of Weekend Justice of this volume. With the legacy numbering, though, it's number 688 or 11, depending on
that third time Professor X was set in space.
Exactly, and he could walk and had hair,
but only backwards.
Yes, he moonwalked a lot, as long as it was on the blue area of the moon. I'm very tired. So that brings us to the end of another episode of Weekend Justice, and just as we have for God knows how long, been left at the end of one of these extended therapy sessions, kind of at a loss for words and yet still talking. It only leaves for us now to kind of stand in awe of what we've done and simply say, back ho.
Brian Setzer's back ho, copywritten.
It's monogrammed. That's how we know it's his.
Was the song In the Ghetto originally about cake?
Yes.
No.
What?
Gâteau and ghetto. Very bad pun.
MacArthur Park is actually about, racial strife.
It is about cake. It is about cake. It is about cake.
What isn't?
I know, really. If you
Sexual
think
Healing
about
by
it.
Marvin Gaye is not about cake.
Depending
It is
on what
about
you
cake.
mean about with cake,
It
because
is
cake
about
also
cake,
means
Rob.
About pie.
you know. Oh, pie, yeah.
Pie.
My
Oh,
least favorite Blue Oyster Cult song.
No, Don't Fear the Reaper was completely about sex.
yeah, that was. And MacArthur Park was about cake. And
Somewhere
Sexual
Clutches
Healing
had,
was
though, that they
not
got
about cake.
skipped.
It was about everything else, though.
It's pudding.
Pudding could be involved, yes. It could.
Pudding can always be involved if you want it to be.
I know, you just have to want it hard enough.
Yeah.
And also
Sometimes
want
it's-
the pudding hard enough.
I'm just holding back all the English desserts, like, you know, spotted dick and stuff. Black pudding
Well,
and spotted dick.
All I know,
What a
all I
country.
know is that if you or someone you know has been affected by spotted dick, please speak to your local physician because they have a salve they can put on that, and
If
it
you
clears it
spot
right
a
up.
spotted dick,
Tell someone.
Just don't get the
dig
squirty
deeper.
kind.
Wasn't that the contest they used to run in the sun? Spot the dick.
Spot the dick. Oh yes.
Spot the dick.
Sorry, I don't read the sun, I only burn it.
Oh, well.
Oh, so I guess that's it then. And
Wow.
we've done another one.
Go team.
Yay!
Yeah.
Might be the
Well
most
done,
obvious
everyone.
coda we've ever had. Oh God.
You're all very strange, and I love you all.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
the
say
feeling
we
is
all.
quite
Also
mutual, especially the strange bit.
Also that.
Yes. All right. Well, I can't believe I sat here this entire time without needing to pee, but I need to pee. So I'm going to go away and do that. I won't take you with me. Don't worry about it.
Leave studio.
Indeed. All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Stay alive,
Nice.
for God's sake.
You too. Good night.
Night.
Yeah.